physical. It's time to talk some this and more. We gonna talk about it all. DVD, CD, UHD, VHS, books, Blu-ray. Who knows, maybe you'll even see the laser disc today. Let's get physical. We wanna talk some physical media. Movies and TV, music and more. Come check out what we have in store. This is the Media House Stream. It's time for some physical media on FanZcene.
I know it was like really popular because it like won some Oscars and whatever, but
Jimmy does that.
It's got the Mighty Ducks guy. Got that guy.
No! Yes, but no! He's not the Mighty Ducks guy! It's Emilio Estevez! We're the Emilio!
You can never have enough physical media.
Tis true. You can never have enough physical media. Well, hello and welcome back, fellows, to the Physical Media Show here on FanZcene. With me tonight, believe it or not, is Tom Connors from Midnight's Edge After Dark and some guy named Rook. So, how you guys doing?
It's true. Doing amazing. Amazing. You know, you can run out of physical media, but can you run out of room for physical media?
Yes, that is one of the biggest problems with collecting physical media is finding room for everything you want and have and own, and people who get mad because you're taking up space.
If your dang physical media is in the bathroom now, get that out of here. Nope.
Nah.
Okay, we put the worst ones in there.
No, I never put it in the bathroom. Are you crazy? Never. Water and what goes in fecal matter.
You don't have a TV in your bathroom for the crappier movies or something. No.
I walk into fecal matter.
It's just Rookie's like talking about putting physical media in the bathroom, and I said, no, you don't put your physical media in the bathroom with the water and the dampness, and when you shower, and the
you don't. I'm sorry, you don't put you don't put the movies in the toilet. You put them on a shelf. It doesn't matter.
That shit goes in the air, man. You don't. No way.
Put that in there. You breathe in the air too. I don't know.
No way. It's bad when people use their phones in there.
Just keep your bathroom clean. Keep your bathroom. Just keep it clean more often.
I don't care how clean you keep your bathroom. You get a hot, steamy shower, that fucks it up.
Are you telling me
once in the history of ever have I ever seen anybody ever store their physical media in a bathroom?
Have you ever thought this movie is so crappy it should go in the shitter?
I wouldn't put it in my shitter because then I'd clog it and I'd have to pay a fucking...
No, but in the bathroom, you know,
I would just give it to somebody or sell
like if you for some reason own
Rookie, quit while you're ahead. You need to quit while you're ahead here.
And scene. I don't actually have movies in my bath. I don't actually have movies in my bathroom, but that would be a funny concept. So.
This took a weird turn already.
Yeah. Rook's back, everybody.
Yes, Magnum Opus. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank me in the chat. You're welcome.
Let's say hi to the chat, by the way. So hello to you, Breitbart. Glad to see you out there as well. Right he's
put a P in the chat if you missed me. Yeah.
Uncle Remus, what's up? He says, "Where's my 4K? Best little whorehouse in Texas in 9 to 5." Rip Dolly and Tim. Yes, it's been a sad week. And yes,
Kino had the opportunity to do Best Little Whorehouse in 4K, and they decided to just do it in 2K.
Yeah. And who owns 9 to 5 now? Because like we talked about earlier, Disney. That's why. Because I know the Twilight Time one you said is out of print, and I'm
surprised they haven't done a special edition of it, considering it's right up their alley right now with
with the women and
DEI stuff.
And all that. Yeah,
that might also because that means they would have to acknowledge. I mean, they did finally acknowledge Rocky Horror Picture Show. So
yeah, they did. Well, as we'll get to, there's some Disney rumors about physical media coming, but and also I was talking to you about Straight Talk, which I haven't seen in years. I know you said Kino did it and Mill Creek.
I think I brought it on here before. I thought,
yeah, you did, but it's not on Kino store at all anymore.
Wow,
the Mill Creek one is going for like $130. So like,
jeez, I gave that to a friend. Jesus,
yeah, the Kino one you can somewhat find for about $30. But the
Mill Creek one sucks. Why would you want that one?
No, I know the Mill Creek one's $130. Why would you do that? And you get the Kino one for like about $30, but with
Well, and
shipping,
the
there's
Kino
no
one
free
has better
shipping.
sound, and I think the picture's about the same, but that Mill Creek
Yeah.
one had shitty ass sound. It was one of the earlier Mill Creek discs.
I think it's just because it's Mill Creek and now they're Alliance and everything, so they're like, ooh, it's special. So yeah, I don't know.
Maybe because it has the original VHS art. I almost thought of keeping it just for that, but
Yeah,
the Kino one had the poster art for the movie, so I was like,
yeah.
it's a difference.
So each their own. But we know somebody who might be able to help us with that. So what's up,
We
John?
may come up later.
Yes, yes. What's up, John the Beagle Dad? Glad to see you out there. Good evening to you, Ace Hanlon. I honestly, I have been considering this. I haven't talked to Tom about it yet, but I've been considering this. If I could just get my kids to let me do it. Because their bedtime is 9 o'clock. It's not, I have to be in bed by 9 o'clock. It's once the clock hits 9 o'clock, then they'll head to the bedroom and start getting ready for bed. I'm like, you're getting old enough now, maybe I can move this show up a bit and it might help me and Tom a little bit. So, and some of the people out there, because we do start pretty late. So if I can finagle things, maybe we'll start it a little early. I do have to talk to Tom and everything. I'd say Rook, but Rook's never around, so it doesn't matter.
Finagle's a word you got to be careful saying, by the way.
You got to be
That's
careful
true.
of that
That's
one.
true. Very true.
Because you can say finagle the wrong way real quick and get yourself canceled.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, real quick.
I got one. That's why I didn't say it again. That's why I'm not saying it again. John the Beagle Dad
I
said
dreaded saying it once.
yeah, I know. He pre-ordered the NASA movie, The Right Stuff. Cool. How do you, Double Fett? Glad to see you out there in chat. Hell to you, Devil Knight. Glad to see you out there. And yeah, this what Double Fett brings up. It says, speaking of lack of Disney UHDs came up suddenly. Now they've announced Dead Poet Society, Mrs. Doubtfire for 4K, and possible rumors of Rock, and also not just The Rock, but Commando, and I think there was one more.
All the Fox ones have been 4K scans for years.
Yeah. So they're finally deciding.
I'm not going to sit here and act like it's anything stupendous. Mrs. Doubtfire I've had in 4K on streaming for like 5 years now or more. Since before Disney bought Fox.
Yeah. But they're finally just maybe possibly releasing them. Well, Dead Poet Society and Miss Doubtfire is definitely for sure. What's up, Trevor
Dead
Maurer?
Poet Society is the only one that's a Disney title that you mentioned, I believe.
Yeah. Which is, I know a lot of people like Dead Poet Society, and I'll probably eventually get it.
I like it, but it's not one I put on all the time.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty hard watch, to be honest with you. Not because it's a bad movie, but because of the subject.
I'd rather watch something like Dangerous Minds or Stand and Deliver than I would Dead Poet Society.
I'd rather
Dead Poet
watch
Society is a bit more of a downer, considering, and that's the sad part.
Yeah.
I don't even think anybody, but one person I think dies in that movie.
Yeah, by a certain way, which we can't say on YouTube.
Right. Yeah. Otherwise, the other films, they may not be as good, objectively, but subjectively, I'd rather sit through. How do I reach these kids?
or I'd rather just sit through The Substitute.
There's that one too.
Stand and Deliver is really good though. But no, yeah, it's great movie, but it's just like it's a bit of a downer in the end for real. What's his name's in it that you see every night? We say bitches leave. I can't think of his name. I want to call him Red Foreman, but you know who I'm talking about. He's in the Dead Poet Society as the dad.
Dumbass.
Yeah, dumbass. What's up, Trevor Maurer? Glad to see you. Yes, rip to Tim Curry and Dolly Parton. It's been a sad week. We've lost a lot this year, and it's like us children of the 80s and 90s are being hit very hard by the people we've lost this year, because it's a lot of our people we grew up watching and listening to. Hi to you, Danny Hooley. Glad to see you out there as well. Good evening to you, Davina Duckworth. Glad to see you out there. Hell to you, Tim Hayes. Good to see you in the chat. Who else do we have?
All I know is it's a very tough week for transvestites everywhere.
Yes.
On so many ends.
It truly is. There's somebody out there who probably having one of the worst weeks of their life in that community right now. So,
I'm not kidding. You know, it's kind of a joke.
I'm
but
not kidding either, but it really
how
is.
many how many Dolly impersonators and or people of that nature decide they want to be Frankenfurter for Rocky Horror Night? Like I'm saying, like
Mhm.
cosplayers, especially trans ones of the world, are definitely sad today.
Yeah,
I don't know how
very-
many men that I've heard that have won look-alike Dolly Parton contest. It's crazy.
which is insane.
Which is even funny because last week I brought on Urban Cowboy. There's a scene in the movie there where they have a Dolly Parton look-alike contest.
It's been insane.
Those things were so huge. People forget that we used to do, like, they used to pop up all the fucking time at local
Dolly
bars
Parton
and shit.
and Lucy. Dolly Parton and
Yes.
Lucy. Yes.
Like, yes, if you could look like especially Dolly Parton around here, like in the I mean, maybe Lucy more so on the coasts, but yeah, like I remember at least a half a dozen or more times when I was a kid where they were having some Dolly Parton contest, and God knows how many women were running around in platinum wigs and big old busts and
Yep.
the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
What's up, Corley and Rogue? Glad to see you out there as well. Does Rogue actually have movies to bring on tonight? You have to
I
wait
have
and
a
find
movie.
out.
Yeah, I have. I
I
watched.
think what helped.
I watch
I
stuff.
think
Go
that
ahead.
kind of was what helped made Dolly so endearing to so many people for so long, is that she had this kind of, she was almost a character unto herself, right?
Mhm.
Like, I mean, I'm sure that's a lot of her own personality, but there's also a lot of that in there where you can tell she's cheesing it up, playing the trailer trash
Yeah.
meets class kind of thing to a T. I think I even seen an interview once where she was talking about how she kind of created this whole image, like where I think she even said something like, you know, it's real easy to be fashionable, right? But it's a
Mhm.
lot harder to put something together like this. And it just kind of reminded me of Prince and Michael Jackson, right? Like the way they never did the conventional thing and were trendsetters more than following any trends. And Dolly was a lot like that, right? Like she kind of created that whole look, and that look for the longest time became synonymous with, you know, a certain type of woman throughout the 70s and 80s into the 90s. And she was kind of the prototype for that. And
Yep.
I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. How many teachers, secretaries, and aunts, and everything else did you know that had those
The
kind of
big hair,
styles?
the big
The
blue
big hair,
eye,
yes, the whole
makeup,
shebang.
all that. Yep, all that. Especially in the early and late 80s, early 90s.
Yes.
Big
Like I
time.
said, she was more of a trendsetter than she was a follower. She kind of created, like, now that image seems like just synonymous, like I said, with that kind of, you know, in every
Mhm.
cartoon and comedy show and you know, any show you see now where you see somebody who's quote unquote hillbilly or whatever, you know, the girls generally look like a Dolly Parton type. I
Mhm.
mean, that like I said, they kind of gotten away from that. Now it's more of a Taylor Swift, whatever the fuck's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell to you, Anthony Draven. Glad to see you out there as well. Shut up, Brooke.
Yeah.
That's
Tim
what you got
Curry,
Peter
yeah.
Griffin like, shut up, Rook.
Shut up,
Brookie.
Brooke.
But
What's
yeah,
up,
as far as
Night
Tim
Junkie?
Curry, that was a tough one too.
Yeah, that was tough. Greeting Night Junkie. He said he's got his Jackie Chan breakout hits. Cool.
I looked at that one. I haven't been able to afford much lately.
Yeah, neither have I.
It's like, what would
There's
be
some stuff
Jackie Chan's
coming.
top movies? Because he has like quite a few, doesn't he? Quite a few,
He's
Depends
got a
on what
lot.
era you're talking. Yeah.
even American and Japanese or something. If you combine,
I mean, yeah, like he has
all
a
that.
swath of them that are from Japan first, and then he did co-productions where they would be released here and there and in different versions. And then by the 90s, he was kind of leaning more into American films than he was foreign films, and then he kind of went back to more foreign. You know, so he kind of has like his eras.
Does he
Yeah.
still make films, or is he like done now? I mean, I know he was. I know he was in.
He's talking about Rush Hour 3.
Because he was in like Karate Kid Legends, right?
Or 4, I mean, yeah. That was probably his last movie, to be honest with you, that I can remember. And he doesn't do a whole hell of a lot in that. I mean, he didn't even need to
true.
be there.
Yeah, that's true.
What's up, Hollow Phil? Glad to see you. He said it's a rhinestone and a best little whorehouse Texas night tonight. Let's get physical. Exactly. Yes, it is. Davina, if you want a good cry, go ahead and watch it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you kind of could tell probably from the movies we mentioned here with the kind of vein in that it's in. It came out in that same era of, you know, Mr. Holland's Opus and all those kind of teacher movies. It was
mhm.
kind of a thing for a while where we had this
Do you remember
string of them.
Michelle Pfeiffer
Yeah,
one?
so I said Dangerous
Yeah,
Minds.
yeah.
Yep, I mentioned that
You
one.
mentioned, yeah, that's right. You did. My bad. Sorry.
Where she's in the video with Coolio.
Yeah. I just
And then,
remember Mrs. Brady in the Weird Al version.
That's true.
This is true.
Yeah. And then we had a few of them. I think I named most of them. We all used to, yeah. So I had Lean on Me,
Mm-hmm.
and what's the other one with John Belushi in it too? The
Oh,
Principal.
that's the principal. That's more like the
Yep.
substitute.
It is a lot like The Substitute. Yes.
Yeah, because then you'd get movies like that, like where instead of the white person or the them coming in trying to reach these kids, you'd get the like, oh, these mother effers are screwing up my town. Now I'm gonna kill them.
Like Class of 1984
Yeah.
and shit like that. Yeah, that was kind of the earlier versions of it.
Yeah.
And there was another one I have not seen yet, but I sent you the soundtrack for that. I'm like, how did I never see this movie? It was called like Living on the Edge or something like that. It's got like all sorts of movie stars in it, like of the Brat Pack ilk. And the soundtrack is fucking amazing. I sent you the soundtrack, and because I asked you about it, I'm like, do you guys even want this one in American pop? Because they're all songs you can get everywhere else, right? Like it's all major pop hits from Cheap Trick to Cars to, like it's like, okay, so like, how did I miss this fucking movie? And it looks like one of those movies because it looks like a bunch of kids getting involved in teen crime drama. And
I've never seen it myself.
Yeah, it's like who is like I think Emilio Estevez and our boys in it, and I think it's one of the Dylans or one of them guys are in it too, and like it's got a whole sorts of like these young cast guys. I'm like, how did I miss this movie? I've never seen it. So if somebody out there's seen it and if it's any good, Blackboard Jungle. There's another one, Jose. Yeah. Teachers was that one of those kind of movies, or was that just more of? I never watched Teachers, so I don't know if that was
Teachers. Yeah,
I thought that was more like of a love triangle kind of movie between adults more so than it had anything to do with the students. But I never watched it, so
yeah.
But I could be wrong. See, Barry says Teachers had a 38 special music video, so maybe they were a little bit more in that vein. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll have to look up some of these movies afterwards. And greetings, Jose Morales, FKHC 2005, some kind of bust. I like that. What's up, fucker? What's up, Barry Music Man? What is
Love
up,
that Kiss.
Media Mike?
Hey, did you see the new Kiss record at Walmart, Barry? Yeah, they got a new greatest. Well, you too, if you want it. They got a new greatest hits one. It's better than their old Kiss Icon one they had hanging around for the longest time. Much better selection of songs. It's all early hits. That's my one complaint, and this I'm sure Barry will agree with me. For some reason, every time they do a Kiss greatest hits, it's only goes up to the end of like the 70s. It's like you do realize that Kiss had like 2 more decades of songs, right? And in fact, arguably, some of them are probably bigger charters than some of the ones that we consider hits. And for some reason, they always want to throw that live version of Rock and Roll All Night because yes, I get it. That was the popular one at the time because of a live, but we all prefer the original version. Let's be real. It's not like the Cheap Trick. That Cheap Trick, I Want You to Want Me, is one of the few times where you're like, yes, the live version kicks the original's ass.
Yeah.
Because the original is this slow downbeat kind of like, I want you to want me. It's like, no, when he's singing that shit live, he's feeling that shit. That's the version we like.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's like, I just want that one. That's my only complaint. But otherwise, it's like, where's all the shit from the 80s? You don't got Lick It Up. You don't got Love It Loud. You don't have Forever. You don't have, any of the stuff off of Hot in the Shade or Revenge. Like, where the fuck is the stuff off of Revenge? People forget how big that CD was. Holy shit. Every time that bitch bends over, I forget my name. Fucking that album rocks. Like, I don't give a shit what anybody's. That was when Kiss finally proved we don't need no fucking makeup. Right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, before that, I was like, yeah, you guys are great, but it's just the makeup was a big half of it. Now, by the time they got to Revenge, then you're like, okay, these motherfuckers are a band now. That's the album with God Gave Rock and Roll to You on it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
That's when they're like, okay, now we're Kiss. We're here. You don't need to worry about any makeup anymore. Bullshit. Like,
We're good. We're good.
Then they didn't do much for a while. Then they finally came back with the makeup and all that business. But like, it's just for some reason they have this thing with every greatest hits album I've ever picked up from Kiss. They never have anything post like 1980 on it ever.
Yeah.
I've never seen one with Lick It Up or anything like that. Yeah.
That's weird. What's up, Media Archive? Mike and Yes, may all them rest in peace, because it's been a hell of a year of losing some of our all-time favorites. And greetings to you, Phoenix Knight. And I think we may be all caught up finally on the chat.
I got it. Yes, Davita is correct. Cheap Trick was powered by 100,000 Japanese teenagers and Wisconsin. Cheap Trick is so big around here. You have no idea. They toured around here all the fucking time back in the day. Like, everybody saw them. I wasn't too young, but like, I mean, like that, they are a local, like not regional, but like they weren't from around here, but they were like a local favorite. If you know what I mean. They were always. They even have the in the song. That's where they got the "Hello Wisconsin."
Yeah, yeah, from
that's from that song by Cheap Trick.
Yeah. Wisconsin, you guys love Cheap Trick. What could you say?
We did for some fucking reason. Jethro Tull, Cheap Trick, CCR, that kind of shit around here back in the 70s or early 80s is huge. Eagles, of course, but Eagles are way too big to be around here. Like you probably had to go to Madison or Milwaukee. I mean, not Madison to see them.
Yeah. What's up, Age Boomer? And he said he's pre-ordered Future World from Arrow Video. Good.
I haven't watched that since it first came out on Shout. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. And I
mean, I've seen it years ago, but
yeah, I've seen it years ago too. I always like Westworld, but Future World isn't too bad.
Future World's kind of meh.
it's yeah. All right. Thank you to everybody in the chat. You guys are popping off. I appreciate that, and everybody at home watching. Let's get into upcoming releases. What do we got for upcoming?
Davina, I actually don't have much for Kiss records. I have a few CDs. I used to have almost all the CDs and cassettes.
I got one of the worst. You guys laughed at me for having it.
Which one?
The one I showed you on, I can't remember the name of the one I showed you on over on Troy's
Houses of the Elder, or whichever one it was.
It's where they like got the leopard print on them and everything.
Oh, Animalize.
Yeah, Animalize. That's what it. Yeah,
that's the era they sucked. Between Unmasked,
cheap.
Houses of the Elder, whatever the fuck it's called, Animalize. Well, Animalize ain't so bad, but like they had that weird era there.
Yeah.
I think the only Kiss song I know is the one from Bill and Ted.
The sad part about Kiss is they're so popular now that like even their worst shit back in the day that you couldn't give away when we were kids, you'll spend $30-$40 for it in a record store now.
Yeah.
And some of the Kiss records like notoriously have really bad masters. Like Destroyer, for instance, I know Barry maybe can back me up. Like I guess that has always had a really bad master or was cut really bad on record. And they're just re-releasing that now, so I'm scared how that's going to turn out. I see they got the live one, so I don't know if they're doing the main album too, but like it needs it. The first few that I got, because I got like their first set of remasters, and those weren't too bad. So like I'm like, all right, we'll see. There's been a lot of brick walling still on some things, but it's not as bad as it used to be. But Umbrella just announced Tucker and Dale on 4K. Well, that'll be pretty popular.
Yeah, I was just looking at for the coming for
probably
in
about
December.
time for me to watch it. Then I've never actually watched it.
Tucker and Dale's great. I was just looking at them. I hope you do, but I see, like you, I know you, Tom. Like certain movies that are very popular amongst some of us nerds, you don't like, and it's
by
not,
the time I see them,
yeah, like I mean, I know a lot of people may get mad at you about it, but I completely understand it. You don't like, not that
at least it ain't like we hate Gremlins for fuck's
sake.
Like
Gremlins, but I know you don't like Blade Runner or something like that.
Oh yeah, but at least I can debate it.
Yes, you could debate it. So like, I get you. I get.
You know how you stump a Blade Runner fan? Ask him what the fucking movie's about. Sorry, that was me. But that was my favorite part of this last week when Ridley Scott come out and said, "I'm not a filmmaker, I'm an influencer." I'm like, "Oh boy, that's the biggest dub of the century."
And now he wants to make another Alien
wrong kid died. Yeah, like exactly. You've made what, 3 or 4 good movies? And Alien, I'm sorry, the one that you claim is yours was pre-made for you so bad. Go watch that Alien documentary I brought on here. What was it, like 6-7 months ago now? Maybe a year. Like if you watch that or any other real documentary, it's like you can tell who actually made that movie. Ridley Scott got it made, but he didn't do shit. And motherfucker just showed up.
And it's true. And he just kind of did it. And also I think Cameron's Aliens really also helped the first Alien movie as well. And I think that's always pissed him off the most.
That's like my theory. Yes.
Yeah. It's like he doesn't feel like, he feels like everybody else that was involved, and even with the sequel, it made it Alien's more popular than he ever did. So he's been trying to, and you can clearly see look at the last 2 Alien movies he made. They're shit. And that was
he's trying to undo everything. Yeah, he's trying to undo anything that, because that's what and that was always my theory, because Cameron's Aliens kind of solidified the life cycle, the basic idea of what the alien is as this biological creature / weapon type thing, right? It has a life cycle. We know what it is. No. That wasn't good enough for Ridley. He had to come in and complicate that shit. And then to make matters worse, it's like the dumb motherfucker wants to make a whole movie about the gay robot that we didn't give a shit about.
Yeah.
It's like, that's all the motherfucker seems to want to do is make movies about gay robots.
Exactly.
It's like, do you realize the movie is called Alien, not
Aliens.
Gay Robot?
It's like he set up this whole, like, with Prometheus, with the creators, and then he kind of just abandoned them, and like, it's like, what? That was like,
he broke it from the start. He broke it all from the start, because to me, it's like, it made sense in the original Alien movie when they stumble upon this stuff. See, and that's the other thing with every addition to Aliens, especially when they show, this is why I haven't watched Romulus yet. And Earth, because I'm so tired of them setting things in an era where it makes absolutely no sense, and it keeps making the company know more than they actually should, because it would make Burke a complete fucking moron, right? Because the whole point of what happens in Aliens is Burke freaks the fuck out because he went and set up this fucking very expensive facility in an area he should have known better, but there hadn't been an activity, and there was just these tall stories from, this one lady who just showed up all of a sudden because they didn't know anything about this. For you to believe this is like they somehow, did some 4-dimensional chess bullshit with Burke to have him set this facility up there. And because otherwise he's trying to save that one specimen just to save his ass, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole point of that, is because he knows he is fucked. Because it even says it in the movie. He just spent how many $1 billion on this facility? I can't remember how much they say in the movie, but it's like, Jesus. And it's like, yeah, you killed everybody, you dumbass.
Yeah, exactly. And Breitbart, I know you're defending Ridley Scott. I love Legend. I actually do like Blade Runner.
I said he has a few good movies.
He's not. I know you're saying he's a good director and at mercy at the script, but that would also mean he's a bad director, because if he can't make a bad script into a good movie.
Well, you could be a good director for a long time and then, you could get worse. You could get worse.
The problem is he has so many edits, and by the time he's making some of these movies, he's got Final Cut. Right? Like, so what is your excuse, dumbass? Like, why do you need another hour to tell your story? When you had Final Cut to begin with, and it's not like, because like by the time we get to like Kingdom of Heaven and all these other movies that he's making, people forget that he was Ridley fucking Scott. There's no studio that's going to tell him, dude, you got to cut an hour out of that movie. He was doing it on his own accord. Yeah. Right. It was just, he wasn't done with the movie. And I just don't think he very much has, I don't think he has the vision that everybody thinks he does. I don't think he's a very visionary director.
He's not. His brother, on the other hand.
His brother is a very consistent. He was very, like, he was a very good director's director in a sense that he came in, got the job done, and made a movie that the studio and the audience could both be happy with.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to remind people, that's the motherfucker who directed Top Gun, Days of Thunder, Beverly Hills Cop 2. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah, Last Boy
right
Scout,
up to his
which
death.
is amazing. Yeah, right up to his death. Yeah.
Wrong kid died.
Wrong kid
and
died.
I mean, how many stories do we hear about Ridley Scott now where he literally directs the movie from his fucking trailer? And then most people say he's not even really directing the movie. Because, that's been Ridley Scott his whole career. He's let everybody else around him do the job, and that's why he's never happy with the final product, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I just a personal thing with him, and the only reason I have that pretension with him is because he's so pretentious himself.
Yeah.
I think it'd be better for some directors to like know when they should stop making movies, or that they should always keep trying until they die.
The Martian was his last good movie.
Yeah,
and that movie was another one that was made for him, basically. He just had to follow the book.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I guess, I mean, like, it's the same like with actors that act till they're really, really, really old.
Yes.
Do you think there should be sometimes a cutoff point of like, what are you doing now? You're just kind of
like a quarterback or a baseball player.
Well, even Eastwood is smart enough to know when he knew when to step back and take certain types of roles, and not do Dirty Harry anymore, right? Like, I mean, even though
Yeah.
we would love to have seen him do an old man Dirty Harry,
Yeah.
you know, I just
John
don't think it's
Carpenter,
gonna
for
happen.
instance, as well. He knew he
It's time.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, there's some that know, and there's some that just like smell their own farts and keep thinking they're going to.
That's
Make
one of the reasons
another
why I like
Alien movie.
Tarantino. As egotistical as he is smart enough to know that I've heard him say this so many times now that I believe that he's gonna step away from making movies when he's done with this next movie.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be like the best thing to do because he would just establish a really good record. People can judge however they feel about the movies, and history will show what it is, and he'll have made his thing and not had like 100 failures or something that. And like one good one, I don't know.
I think he kind of wants to be a successful Milius, is what I'm thinking. He just wants to write. And he's going to write books, and he's going to write scripts, and he'll let other people make movies. Like, was it Fincher who's directing his Brad Pitt sequel?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think he'll end up doing that kind of stuff forever.
Yeah,
maybe he'll jump
good,
behind the camera again eventually, but he wants to write more books and stuff like that. I'm all for that. I mean, I love his movies, but it's like I'm sick of waiting 10 years between each movie too.
Well, yeah, but it's like, because there's like some actors that you'll see where you're just kind of like, oh my god, you're in another movie? Are you alive? What are you doing? Like Harrison Ford or something. It's like, it's cool to see him, but then it's also like, man, can you like not die though? Because you're pushing it, man. I don't know.
I think Harrison Ford might be a bad example.
I think he's going to be retiring soon, but
yeah, he's going to retire soon, but he's just grumpy. So
he's not as grumpy as he used to be. It seems though. That's the weird thing.
I think he might be got a little bit of the,
well, that he's always been that, but like,
I think he's finally mellowing him out though.
What do you think saved his life so many times? Every time he crashed a plane. It's like I'm sitting here going, this motherfucker has crashed more planes than we know, and he walks away from him. And it's like, dude, what?
I was so high up in the air.
Now I'm down on the ground, man. What happened?
Well, I guess what I was getting at is like, do a lot of the directors and actors, do they even retire anymore ever? Or do they just kind of work until they die? It seems like they tend to die before they finish their career or something.
It depends on the actor. It depends on if they're able to, right? Like a lot of these guys, if they're working actors, they kind of have to work up until the day they die. But like Michael Caine has now retired. You've got Jack Nicholson's been retired for 10, 15 years now.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah. There's a few guys. Joe Pesci's been retired for a long time too. He'll come out of retirement once in a while for things.
Yeah,
Rick Moranis was famously retired, but now he's coming back out of retirement. But there's reasons for that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
and directors, like, I mean, you got guys like Milius and stuff who eventually just kind of slipped more into like writing roles, and I think that's more what Tarantino's is kind of becoming like more of a.
Yeah, I feel like in a way that would be a healthier type of switch to go from this to that as you get older instead of just keep on doing the same thing. I mean, I guess it would depend on the type of actor or director you are. Like Eastwood, like going from the young type of hero to an old man type of hero or something. That's
I don't think Jack will ever make another movie because Jack is probably happy fucking multiple women and getting high all day long doing.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Everybody shows those pictures. I'm like, you really think he's unhappy? That man looks like he just had some wild ass sex.
He's living in a gigantic mansion. He's on a yacht. He's on a boat. You're not on a yacht. You're not on a boat. You're not in a mansion. Trust me, the man is happy.
I know we're far, far away from this whole idea of who Jack Nicholson really was back in the day. I don't think people are like with like Dolly Parton and shit. I don't think people realize how big of a deal Jack Nicholson may not have been the conventional sexy leading man, but I don't know a single woman who ever said no to Jack.
Yeah, he was with he was with Laura Flynn Boyle for years,
longest time
than him.
And that's what I mean. Like he consistently was with younger, and that's what I've heard many of these guys when they make it this far in life, when they say what's the trick, it's like continue having sex and shit, have a very healthy sex life, and,
But yeah, let's get to the things, upcoming releases, and get into the picks because we've got a half hour.
Yes.
You go ahead. You got something?
Well, I was just gonna say we got a new movie from Deaf Crocodile. For those who remember my weird French or whatever the fuck they were, animated movies, got Roy del Espacio coming.
Ooh, that sounds spicy.
I'm sorry, you said it deaf, like he can't hear crocodile.
What?
Yes, Deaf Crocodile.
Good. I was going to do that same joke, FanZcene, but I held back and was like, no, that's beneath me. No.
This looks like I gotta
not
get
beneath
it.
me. Oh yeah, this movie's been, I just saw this. This has been lost. This is piece of lost media. It's never been seen till just now again.
I love batshit crazy
hell was
animation.
Yeah.
This is more batshit crazy. It's probably more Spanish than it is.
Yeah,
like the last two, I think were French.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks like it's more of a Spanish film.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'm trying to imagine his voice. Stop, fiend. Or
I just love this cool old animation.
Bienvenidos a lo desconocido.
This is more like Spanish Ralph Bakshi.
Spanish,
Yeah.
okay.
Yo soy Roy del espacio, vengo de la
I'm
tierra.
Roy from space. I come from.
They sound very mellow.
You can tell it was rotoscoped.
Yeah.
It's expecting
I'm
more.
professional animators, you can tell. I love this. I want this so bad. And it's filled with robots and flying saucers. What the fuck? And a hero?
The slime goo.
They love
No.
Flash Gordon, you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
That
I'm looking
looks
forward to that.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, that one looks like even better than the last two. I never really got into that second one. That's why I haven't brought it on yet. It was kind of a little too artsy fartsy compared to the
No,
first
a
one.
little artsy.
Yeah.
But also from Umbrella outside of
Yes.
Tucker and Dale which is coming to 4K for the first time through Umbrella. You're also getting Mysterious Skin, which I've never heard of. It stars Justin Gordon-Levitt. Penny Lane is Dead. The original Australian Wilford TV series, and Jodorowsky's Dune. From
Jodorowsky's Dune.
Jodorowsky's.
And I think that's part of there's a big Jodorowsky box set. I think that's also part of, if I'm not mistaken.
But that's the other ones.
And then Scarlet Sales is also coming from Deaf Crocodile. Via Vision is releasing Time Cop in 4K over there.
Mm-hmm.
The Fortune Cookie is coming in 4K from Kino. For some reason, I remember them announcing something else this last week too.
Wasn't Time Cop like a Red Letter Media movie or something?
They probably have talked about it on there.
It's a good movie though. It's
No, I
fun
thought they
movie.
made a movie called that or something. Something
Oh,
with
no,
a
you're
cop.
thinking of Space Cop.
Space Cop. Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. No, Shout Factory did Time Cop here in a very, very bare bones. So I didn't even think to look and see if Via Vision's going to actually have any special features on theirs.
It'd be nice if they did.
Yeah.
Age Boomer wants to know if there's a Spanish version of heavy metal. That would be great.
That would be interesting.
That would be.
Featuring Carlos Santana, Los Lobos, and more.
That's great.
Heavy sombrero.
Oh
I
man,
don't get the reference.
I'd watch it. I'd fucking watch it.
I would. Of course, you wouldn't get the reference, Rookie. There's a reason we call you Rookie.
Exactly. I was just stating it again. If the audience forgot that I don't know things, I had to remind them.
He'd probably watch and go, "Oh, I remember when they did this on South Park."
You're correct.
Probably.
When you mention heavy metal, I'm like, yeah, I know that heavy metal has, and they're getting high and
Well,
stuff.
they did the whole episode. Yeah, the cat piss episode.
That's the only frame of reference I have for that.
And
I have no idea what else.
You'd see the movie and be like, "Oh, yeah, I totally."
Now I
get
get it. Well, when you said the "How do I reach these kids" thing, I'm like, you're just quoting Cartman. What do you? Oh, but no, Cartman's doing a quote, obviously, and I had no idea what it's from. Okay, gotcha. Nice.
You're a lot like my kid. Every time he comes, oh, by the way, I finally realized that's where this came from.
Well, that gives South Park more credit because they're funny even if you don't know the reference. Just helps if you do know the reference.
I don't mean to interrupt you guys, and I don't know if you'll find this as weird and funny as I do, but I'm going to show this. Look at this movie coming out. Try Zombie, about kids with Down syndrome fighting zombies.
I heard about this. Yes.
Wait, this is coming out, or this did not come out in the 70s?
Blu-ray. No,
from Anchor Bay, no less.
From Anchor Bay. I need to talk to Michael. I know the guy that does from.
I might
Anchor
get
Bay.
behind this.
I may have to get this movie.
I'm all for it.
I'm all
I don't even know
for
what
it.
it's about, but I'll give it a try. Sure.
Kids with Down syndrome take on zombies. That you're sold. I'm sold. That's
I
what
don't
Look
get
at
the
their
looks like.
name
weapons.
Try Zombie, but
He's got
Yeah.
spikes on a tennis racket. Oh, what's the main guy holding?
A sledgehammer.
A giant sledgehammer. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm assuming that the gimmick is the only people that aren't affected by the zombie
That's what it sounded like
outbreak
in the
is
description there.
people with Down syndrome.
What
'cause of the
what if they're
chromosome.
like inspired by the Predator movie? They're like, oh, people with this have superpowers or something. To be an inspiration.
But anyway, there's that.
That sounds fun. Oh yeah, and then Patch Adams. That's the one from Kino.
When's that coming out?
Yeah. With that zombie movie?
Yeah, when's that coming out?
That's coming out in doesn't say. Oh, November 10th on Blu-ray.
Oh, sweet, this year. Awesome.
Gonna have to check that one out. Hook is getting a 35th anniversary steelbook release. I can't get any confirmation if there's anything new about it or if it's a new version of it or anything, because that's a really old Sony 4K release. But I could.
Mhm.
Yeah, underestimate the power of the handicap. I'm still feel like I've been robbed of my handyman movie. I have this theory. I have this theory that someday we'll find out. Yeah, missed that. What the hell is it called? Blank Man was actually started as a handyman movie, and like somebody finally goes, "You can't make this into a movie." And they got so far along that they're like, well, yeah, but we got to do something now that we've spent all this money and time and effort. Okay, well, we'll just change the character a little bit, because otherwise it's so like it feels like it was meant to be a handyman movie.
It does. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It looks like they're also Umbrella is also releasing steelbooks. Once again, which speaking of which, as you was just saying about Hook being a steelbook, looks like Umbrella is start getting on the train of really seeing the same movies on steelbooks as everybody else is.
Yeah,
they're doing a Freak steelbook, a Super Mario Brothers steelbook, a Caligula steelbook, the Fall steelbook, and Possession steelbook.
You know why I think this is?
They've all released these before with nothing new on them.
This is the same thing with records, and this is actually timely because Mondo just announced they're no longer going to be doing vinyl records.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you've talked about this in any of your videos or not on this. I know I've watched most of them, but I'm trying to remember if you brought the subject up or not. But I think we're going to see a lot of the same shit here in the next few years, where people are going to report that people are buying steelbooks, but they don't actually have Blu-ray players.
Yeah.
They're just buying them for the collectability factor, just like vinyl, because they realize that like close to 50% of the people that were buying vinyl all these years don't even own a record player.
Yeah, they were just buying them for the collectability.
They were just buying them for the collectability factor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is kind of bottomed out now, and I think we're going to start seeing now. And I know you did this recently. I didn't see this video yet. Your CD one. I want to watch that one. So check it out, guys, because Greg did a new video.
Check it out.
But yeah, so like there is this uptick, and I've noticed this now that Walmarts and other places are starting to put CDs back in because they're starting to sell again. So, and again, it's just going to make me wonder though, are these people buying these and actually listening to them or not? But I've actually noticed an uptick in CD players everywhere.
I would say the people that are buying CDs are actually listening.
I think so. I think that's the point I'm getting at, because I've seen a lot of these newer CD players. They're very small, compact, and or very Walkman like.
Yep.
So that the mobility factor is there to where and or cool playability factor, because records are cool, but guess what? Playing a record has not fucking changed in 100 years.
Yeah.
The same exact part of it is all the same. Now, CD players have changed a lot in the last few years to where we got some really cool, neat ones now to where they light up and do all kinds of other cool things. So like, I think that is part of the cool factor with it. Plus, you've got a whole generation of kids that have listened to bitrate starved music.
Yes.
And they're finally hearing music like we used to listen to it back in the day. And that's why I think vinyl started as well, because you're finally hearing an uncompressed file on a vinyl sound like music, because it's like, oh my God, it doesn't sound like it's warbly and underwater. What the fuck is this?
Exactly, yeah.
And now they're actually discovering, oh wait, CDs sound that much clearer? Wait, what?
Yeah. And that's the thing is like they're finding this out. And plus, like Tom, even though that we're sort of in this boat where we haven't been able to buy much lot lately for various reasons, it's actually cheaper to go buy a couple CDs than it is to subscribe to Apple Music or Spotify or YouTube Music or something. It's cheaper to buy CDs at this point in time.
I was about to say, like, at least as far as my experience, like where there's, thousands of songs you can essentially have on your phone. I mean, in a way, I kind of want to just listen to a certain few. So I can definitely see people wanting to just purchase what they want to listen to for sure. Because they probably skip half the songs anyway that they listen to that they have. It's like, well, why, and I get it too. Oh, I like that song, but do I want to hear that song most of the time? No. But there's other songs I want to hear all the time. So
now this was something I probably paid, I think, $5 back in the day at Walmart for, right? Mm-hmm. And this has all her basic main hits on it and stuff like that. So you'll find stuff like this in a thrift store now for $1.
Yep.
Or 50 cents.
Yep.
Right. So now you can walk out of a thrift store with a stack of CDs for the price of what you would have paid for a month of Apple Music. Right now, sure, you can get a lot more music off of Apple Music, but it's disposable.
Yeah.
Now, if you have this CD, I bet you chances are you're going to listen to it. Yeah, you may skip a few tracks here and there, but a lot like a record, you're going to just listen to it a lot more, and you're going to listen to it in a way that makes it feel more important.
Wait, how many CDs have versions that are like many alternate versions as well? Because I feel like online sometimes there's so many alternate versions of the same songs that sometimes you don't even know, okay, I'm looking for this song. Well, I don't know who the original artist is. I heard this one time, but now it's a different singer. I don't know. Like there's some songs that I've heard before that sound good, but then I can't find who did it.
Yeah, well, there's that factor, and there's also the factor of how many different you think movies get a lot of releases? Go on Discogs. I mean, an album can get so many different variant releases throughout. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, even just finding a certain version of a song by a specific artist that you already know sometimes. Like I get what you're saying too, Rook, where it's like, I heard the song, I can't figure out who it is, but I've heard somebody else do it now, but I can't quite find the original or whatever. You'll run into that too. But like I'm constantly going through, like I'll have 10 or 15 different versions of one fucking song, and it's from different and it's in some cases they're literally only different by a few seconds because they're from different masters and different edits and different whatever. Michael Jackson's one especially where like he remixed his albums a couple times and people didn't know it, and so like depending on which version you have, it's a completely different version in some cases. Sure, it's little minute stuff here and there, but
that matters though, because sometimes the certain songs will just hit you the right way. You memorize the one time you heard it, and you want to hear that again. And so until you get that satisfied, you want that, you crave that. I think that's the minute things still kind of matter, especially with music.
This is an interesting topic because I have CDs and some two picks tonight that relate to music. So
do I. Yeah.
So this is an interesting topic. Yes. And,
yes.
And much like and like my Blizzard of Oz album I just bought, it's actually not the original Blizzard of Oz. It's the re-release of it with extra tracks, and the songs are re-recorded. So
and now isn't some of those Black Sabbath and Ozzy albums, aren't they re-releasing them in the American versions now too? Because like for years, because this is the same thing that happened to the Beatles. For years since I was a kid, when they've released them on CD, they were the UK edition. So in the US, all the people here, that was the first time they heard those editions. Those were the versions I grew up with. So when I have buddies talking about like the mono version of Rubber Soul and certain like things like that, it's like I had no idea that there was that much of a difference. Right? I mean, I'm not talking about just the mixes themselves, but I didn't realize until a little later that they completely moved songs around, readjusted tracks, kept some tracks off, because like what they would do in America is they would literally leave like 2 tracks off of every album, and then they would save them up and release another album in between an album.
Sneaky.
Yeah, so they would do that kind of stuff all the time, and especially foreign bands, right? Even up through modern day. Like, I mean, I just recently picked up, I still want to get my hands, I know Ace of Base isn't a great big group or anything like that, but they just re-released their American version of their first album here, which was originally called The Sign, but it was called Happy Nation everywhere else. Yeah. And I wonder what's the differences between that and the other versions. Now, as far as I understand, now the version they released here has both. Basically, it's a combination of both, if that makes sense. It's like a ultimate cut or whatever. So it has all the tracks that were missing from the US version and the US versions of those other tracks that were replaced on whatever. Because, they just figured this is going to be more a Euro track than it is going to be a US track, right? And like, for instance, their second album here, Lucky Love, we got the acoustic cut on the album. In the UK version, they got more of a dance cut version of it, right? So it's like you'll get that kind of shit too. Or there's tracks that are big hits elsewhere that were never even a hit here. Like, it's just like, I don't know what the hell that song is, but it was big in Japan. Oh, rock fan. There you go.
Yeah, what's up, rock fan?
Oh, shit. I haven't even got a chance to look at my phone since. Speaking of music, yeah.
Speaking of music.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he found a nice load of movies. It looks like he's got a bunch of hammers.
Oh, nice.
I want to get the hammer.
Speaking of which, Dracula. Did you see that bad boy?
No.
The first Dracula movie coming to 4K this October, from Hammer. Oh my god!
I knew it was coming, but I haven't seen anything for it. No.
Let me see if I can bring it up real quick. It's going to be $113.
I think I just saw the trailer, but oh my god.
Yeah, it's a big chunky. It's the UK version. I'm sure they'll do a Warner Brothers like I had the Frankenstein one, but I gotta find this if I can find it.
So I also heard that Universal's releasing 4K editions of all their other monster movies, of course.
Yeah, again. Yeah.
I'm not going much farther. I think I'm good with a lot of the Blu-ray sets I have.
I'm good with the set I have. I know it's like you got like 7 copies of Abbott and Costello, but I'm good. I'm good with that big box.
That's where I'm at now. It's like I don't need any more. I got the Dracula and Frankenstein movies I care about most. I might get the Frankenstein one because of the other 3 movies or whatever, 2 movies or whatever, but
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that looks pretty though.
Look at that. It does. I would love to get that.
I'm not sure I like the that's probably a digipack though. I can tell right now.
See how it folds out. You can see how it folds out. Yeah.
Or whatever you want to call it. Probably slides in there. Oh man.
Yeah, that's the one problem. I would love to get that set. I'll probably just get the Warner Archive.
This is a UK edition. I see that now.
Yeah, this is a UK edition. The Warner Archive usually puts it out.
So that's 3 Blu-rays and 3 4Ks, or what is this? Holy shit!
Let me see. Let me read it here. It says,
how many different fucking like that? As far as I know, there's only 2 different versions.
2 4Ks and 5 Blu-rays.
Okay.
With the UHD content duplicated on Blu-ray, 5 iterations of Dracula, 5 versions of the film: uncensored UK version, UK theatrical version, uncensored US version, US theatrical version, editor's work print, and that's the versions there with the brand new.
Jesus, I might have to get this because I bet you the US version is not going to have all these on it.
Yeah, probably not. I have the Frankenstein 4K. I didn't get the chunky box set of that, but I got the Warner Archive version of it. It comes with 3 versions of the Frankenstein film.
Which one?
The Hammer Frankenstein. Curse of Frankenstein.
I think I got that one too. I haven't watched it yet.
So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah. But if I had the money, I would. Like, there's so much guys. I know I know people are fed up with the steelbooks and the prices. I completely get it. But if I honestly had the money, there's so much shit I'd be buying right now because I want these.
I'm just pissed that I'm broke. I mean, to me actually, the prices aren't that bad. I mean, people got to remember what we've paid for movies in the past, and the prices.
Before,
yeah. I mean, I'm kind of surprised it took them this long to get this high.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'm not happy about it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to complain about it as much as most things.
Same here. It's like I said, if I have the money and I want it, I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
But I think that was pretty much everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty much everything. If I had that money, I'd be buying that Hammer set. I know you don't like the movies. I don't know if you've seen them actually. I would buy the Hatchet 4K box set.
I've never seen them, so I can't say.
I think you'd like the first 2 movies. After that, you might not like.
I have me and horrors. Like I have kind of a cutoff date.
The Hatchet ones are straight up 80s, 90s horror slasher films. They're Jason, legitimately just Jason movies. Because it's Kane Hodder playing the character, but more gorier. So that's really all they are.
I think Brian sent you the picture so you could show it.
Oh, me?
Because he sent it to me right on my phone. So, yeah. I could show you the picture on the phone.
I hate the new chat from X. I hate the new chat.
Yeah, it's like every time they seem to fix something, they break something else.
Okay, here we go. I'll bring it up. Share screen. I know we've gone on for like almost an hour. We haven't even shut our picture.
Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta get moving.
Yeah, so there's what Brian sent us. That's sweet. He's got the House of Hammer, which I've been wanting to get that too because I've heard that's a really good documentary. Is this the documentary or is this just the movies?
That's what I was trying to figure out because is it DVD?
And no, this is Blu-ray.
Is it? Okay. Well, hopefully he used that. Oh, that's just visit our website. Okay. I hope he used the digital thing before somebody else gets it. But
Mask and Monsters of Mad Men, Deep Cuts.
I think that's the documentary, isn't it? Or is it more than that? You have to tell us, Brian.
I think this might be some of the movies.
It might
be. Is it? No. Is it? I don't know. Either way, I want this.
Oh, it's just the documentary. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought this was the documentary.
Didn't this just come out? Like, this ain't that old either.
Did.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is not that old, yeah.
I've been wanting to get this. I've been wanting to get that. That looks
I've been wanting it too.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the Psycho 1 through 4. We got that. I did get that. Yes, he does have a pick tonight, just one. So you guys might have to wait a little bit.
He's gonna pick his nose. Stupid thing.
Thomas was surprised.
That's residual from earlier when I missed it.
There you go.
You know, it's not so much the price of weed, it's how far away I gotta get it.
I gotta drive and I don't want to do it.
The price ain't bad, it's the trip.
Let's go. Who wants to go? Rook, you got one. Do you want to blow it? Blow it. You want to do it first?
Well, actually, when Tom mentioned Jack Nicholson, I might actually have two if I can find the movie. I might actually have two.
Well, let him go look for the movie.
One of those. So yeah,
let's flip a coin.
Go first. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't have a coin
because I actually have 4 movies. I realized
I have 3, but I got
so why don't I start?
Never mind. I lost my lucky shamrock. Go ahead.
Do you want me to start? Because I got 4.
Yeah, go ahead. Start since you got 4.
Well, as you know, I talked to a fine thespian this week. One Lou Diamond Phillips. So in preparation, yeah, it was fun. And in preparation, I watched one of his I haven't watched in many years. That Mill Creek put out the reunion of Lou Diamond and Kiefer Sutherland. That was one other thing is he said that Kiefer just did not like making the Young Guns movies. It sounded like he requested to get killed off in the second film. Which is funny because his character is one of the few people that lived to an old age.
Yeah.
So he's definitely not going to be in the new one. But but yeah, so Renegades. It's a fun movie. And I got to give Mill Creek credit. They actually put the original theatrical poster on the inside.
They always were good for that. Yeah.
No, actually they weren't. Remember, because they would usually make their own fucking weird shit.
Yeah, that's right. Because it'd be the outside would be.
You're thinking
VHS
of Kino.
Cover.
You're thinking of Kino. Yeah. So this is the VHS, right? But this was the actual poster cover because I'm backwards. That's why it's weird. Like, why is everything back? Am I not? Can you read it when I put that up?
I can read it when you put it up.
Okay, because to me it's mirrored then. All right. So like it's even since the boys are back in town, they even used the song from 48 Hours from the Bus Boys in the trailers and everything because that was how they sold this movie is that it was these two getting back together, right? Because it even says like. See what this time they brought their guns to the city.
What do you mean? Are they some kind of young guns?
They're young guns. So what is this movie about? It's about Lou Diamond Phillips, who is a Native American, and he's got this spear of his people, and he brings it to, I believe it's New York. I don't know if they ever really say what city it is, but Kiefer's like a cop who's kind of on the brink of losing his job because he's in this undercover mess. And it gets wrapped up with Lou Diamond's story because they steal the spears. So now Lou Diamond is kind of holding Kiefer Sutherland responsible for the whole thing. And not only that, he's also got to clear his own name at the same time because it looks like he's the dirty cop he's been trying to get this whole time. And it's just it's a fun 80s, early 90s. I think it was one of those two. 90,
yeah, I think it's like
89. 90. No, it was 89. Okay.
I was going to say
it just made it the 80s. No, it just made the 80s. So definitely, and you can tell it feels like one of those kind of movies. It has all the same tropes, the soundtrack, the feel, the the whole thing. Maybe it was L.A. It could take place in L.A. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. And if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. Kiefer, of course, is great in it, and Lou Diamond.
I got it on VHS.
Great as well. He does most. It's funny because Lou is hurt through most of the movie, so he's like limping around and doing. He doesn't really get to do much of the action. It's all Lou doing all the action. So it's kind of fun.
That is cool. Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in years. Like I said, I still actually have the VHS of it over there. But I haven't seen that movie in years and years. I remember it being a decent movie.
Yeah,
pretty fun watch. Yeah. I think Lou Diamond Phillips had a pretty big career. You know, he's become a really good character actor and stuff. You know, so I think he's had. I mean, who doesn't remember Young Guns?
He's worked in television. He's had quite a few prolific film things. I mean, do I wish he got paid more? Probably. That'd be more accurate. I mean, the guy. I mean, he probably deserved to get paid a hell of a lot more considering, I mean, I brought up in the interview, like, I mean, you were like a band that has 3 hit albums right out the bat, right? Like you went boom, La Bamba, boom, Stand and Deliver, boom, fucking Young Guns. Like how many people have that kind of a introduction to Hollywood? Cause like, I mean, La Bamba was his first movie. You know, I mean, people forget how big that movie was when it first came out. I mean, speaking of soundtracks and everything involved, but like, you know, it's that like, and then Stand and Deliver was probably more of a hit as far as like with critics and stuff, but it still did pretty well at the box office and on home video and HBO and all that stuff. But then Young Guns just blew everything up, right? Like, I mean, it was just like, holy shit. It kind of changed Westerns and changed, you know, the trajectory of how movies were going to be marketed of this kind and stuff like that. Because Young Guns 2, he talked a little bit about that, how it was completely different world between the 2 films, right? And you know, and just stuff like that. Because you know, it's like, you know, everything's bigger, more everything on the second film. But he said the first movie felt more like the MTV movie. This movie was just like so different, you know. But and then he did movies like this and The Power of One, and I mean, he had a nice streak of movies there that were pretty prolific enough. I mean, I wouldn't say Renegades was a huge box office hit, but I don't think it was a flop by any means. And I mean, he had a lot of those movies there for a while. Then he did television, and he just did a movie now where that's one of the reasons we were talking to him. And it's actually a really good movie. People, if you haven't checked it out yet, it's on streaming. It's called Gangland. Lower budget film, but I thought it was pretty good. Kind of in the vein of like a Training Day kind of movie almost, you know, kind of thing. But,
like I said, he's really good in the TV show Longmire. He's really
I want to watch that because everybody keeps telling me it's good. So
it's good. It's good.
I just never got a chance to watch it.
He was in that Werewolves movie I liked. He's not in it very long. I wish he was in it more. He's not in it.
And he said he loved making Bats. Like, I mean, he didn't even mention like how, you know, I mean, how disappointment box office wise it was or anything like that. He didn't even mention that. Like, he just talked about how much fun it was making it and everything like that, and how
I love Bats. Bats is very Trimmer-esque, which we know that.
Yeah. That's what I told him. It's like it's got that Gremlins kind of feel to it, and Tremors kind of thing. I didn't mention Tremors, but that falls in that Gremlins category, right?
Yeah. It does.
And he talked about just how the director was like really like always making it look cool and stuff like that. And it does. It has you rewatching that movie a few months back, you know. Thanks to Rick for sending that again. But, you know, you noticed how, like, you know, it did have like a look to it. And there's a cool kind of like tone to it that they nailed. It just feels like it didn't get its just due. It deserves it.
Yeah.
I'm going to start that campaign.
I agree. I 100%. I love the movie Bats. And yes, it does. I mean, like I said, me and Tom know somebody had made us a Blu-ray because, you know, he's good like that, but it does need an official Blu-ray release. It does need a real Blu-ray release. Definitely needs some love. I was happy that they discussed it in the In Search of Darkness 90s documentary with him. I was happy they got to do that with him. That was pretty good. Rook, are you trying to say something?
No, go ahead.
No. So I was just to say I was pretty jealous of Tom and then being able to talk to him. That was pretty cool.
It's actually the second time I've gotten to talk to him.
That's cool, though. That's pretty cool.
Because I got to talk to him a little bit for the reunions, but the other ones we did, but the Stand and Deliver one. But no, we're supposed to be doing something for La Bamba, which is something that Paulie and I have talked about for years. So
nice. I'm
hoping we can get Asai Morales. That would be the big one.
Yes, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be cool.
But yeah, no, check out Renegades. I think it's still available. Maybe. I mean, I've had
That's
it for a while and I had to open it, but yeah.
That's cool. That's
Power of One's tough to find, I guess.
Yeah, Power One is pretty hard to find. I was just thinking about that too because that's also, I think, in then
I think
the
88
90s.
Films released it or something like that
Yeah.
overseas, but I
Yeah,
don't know if it's ever had a release here outside of DVD or not.
I don't think it has. And I Bats has had a Spanish Blu-ray release, not an American Blu-ray release, as far as I know. But no, yeah, Renegades is a good movie. I haven't seen that in a long time. If you haven't checked out the interview from with Tom and Paulie and Lou Diamond Phillips over there, go over there, check that out after the show, or bookmark and watch it another time. I need to check it out myself. I missed it when it aired, but I'm going to check that out, and I'm jealous.
No, he's awesome. He's awesome.
Not that I
Very
haven't
humble and just very
Yeah.
approachable and easy to talk to.
Yeah,
I mean, especially even before the show, we were just chit chatting about it. It was just so cool to just chit. Like, to me, it was like I was beside myself the first time meeting him, and even more so this time because he's even more personable.
Mhm.
I mean, this is Richie.
Yes.
Yes. To me, I mean, growing up, that was Richie Valens. I mean, I know very little about the real, and the sad part is because of how young he was when he died, there is very little out there. I have probably most of what you can find about Richie Valens outside of his
Mhm.
movie that he was in. For some reason, that movie is hard to find.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, there's not a lot. He didn't have a lot of time to do a lot.
Yeah, he didn't have much, sadly.
I even
much
have a
time.
CD. I even have a CD that has like just a bunch of unfinished material from Richie where he had laid down the tracks, but he hadn't done the vocals yet for.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, there's very little out there compared to a lot of other guys. But
It's crazy.
so, I mean, in that movie, they had to kind of start from scratch. That's another reason why, as I was listening to those tracks, I'm like, now I can see why they had Los Lobos redo all the music for the movie because there's nothing to really work from here. It's kind of sparse.
It's crazy. But yeah, it's I mean, not that I haven't talked to celebrities and stuff myself, but that's a good one. A good one you got to talk to. What's up?
Well, he
Henry?
is a legend in a way, right? Like,
Exactly.
I mean,
That's why I was
that's what makes it so weird that he is so approachable. Is that it's like, you know, this is Lou Diamond Phillips. I mean, people know him. He is a very well-known actor. I mean, he was one. Oh, fuck you. I mean, it's kind of strange because we used to have that happen all the time where we'd have these guys come out and they were instantly movie stars, right? Like, I mean, he's kind of the definition of that. I mean, he just rode that train and he's had a fairly successful career. Again, I'm sure he wishes he made more money. I didn't bring any of that up with him, but I mean, he's a working actor, a very hard working actor.
Mhm.
He seems to not turn down any work that is real work. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I wish he had more prolific as far as like modern career. Absolutely. But honestly, I think he would have been a better choice to fill in for a new Walker Texas Ranger. I would have rather watched him in a remake of Texas Walker Ranger as Walker than, you know,
Yeah.
playing a little bit more into the native side of it. Cause that was kind of, you know, Walker's gimmick too, is that he has a bit of Indian in him. Right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like,
Even though he's got red hair and a beard and everything.
yeah, well, that was that was Chuck Norris's whole thing. Is I think he did actually have some Indian in him, but he looked as fucking Anglo could be. But I don't think anybody would have bitched if Lou Diamond took that role on.
I wouldn't complain.
No, I think it'd have been perfect for it. I mean, I think he would have fit it, and especially after seeing his new movie, it's like I love him, and I told him this. I love you as a cop. You play great cops, and you don't do it the same every time. You find different ways of doing it. Because like his cop in Bats is way different than the one he just played now, you know, and his characters when he's played other cops before too. So yeah. Well, Six, I mean, he is a very good looking gentleman. He is a very good looking gentleman. I have to say that much. Yes.
Yeah.
Shit, some might even argue he was probably better looking than Richie was. Because Richie was a good looking guy, but I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Pretty basic looking Mexican boy for that matter.
Well, that's like also like Lou Diamond Phillips. Not only does he play like Mexican, he also plays Native Americans,
which is funny because he's like Filipino and Irish and
yeah, he's like he's got that.
I think he has a little Native in him, but like that, yeah, it's like but like the look mostly comes from Filipino, actually, I believe, from what he was saying. But yeah. Oh, Greg. Well, yes, Greg's sexy as hell.
I'm not. I'm ugly shit. But thank you.
He gives Kiefer Sutherland a run for his money. Are you kidding?
I wish.
We did talk. I don't know. I don't know if I should say this or not because I can't remember if we talked about this on the stream or if it was beforehand about how short Kiefer Sutherland was.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it was before. Because I think I noticed, or maybe it was during. Because I noticed when I mentioned ditch digging, he's like, "Well, we didn't have to go that far."
It is sad to see because his dad is actually taller than him. And
what movie was it I saw him in recently? That one with Nicholas Holt, because Nicholas Holt is like 6 foot.
Oh yeah, good. Nicholas
He's
Holt's
towering
huge.
over him. It's just like he makes Kiefer look so tiny. The juror number 2.
Oh, juror number 2.
Yeah. Because Kiefer plays his friend in it. He's so tiny compared to Nicholas Holt. He's like, you think they would have got him an Apple box at least?
Maybe in his old age, he just doesn't care anymore.
Probably not. At this point, it's just like whatever.
Whatever.
Because that's what Lou was also joking. Oh no, I think it was on the show because he was joking about but we didn't bring it up. I think we talked a little bit more about it specifically ahead of time. That's probably why it came up. But like, because he was talking about how he was the tallest member of the crew. Because like he's like I think close to 6 foot when the rest of the guys are in their 5 foot plus whatever range, right? Because like guess what? Newsflash, guys, all these big actors that you love, most of them are probably like 5 foot 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, they're not too tall.
They're not very tall. So like he's talking about how he got pushed off to the side and pushed down the hill a little bit so he could be as tall as as shorter so he could look the rest of the guys look taller basically. So yeah, but I know Kiefer is pretty short.
Yeah.
He's not. No way. He's 5'8".
He's 5'8".
No fucking way. Yeah, I think Tom Cruise's thing says he's 5'8" too. Bullshit.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Everybody I've talked to has said flat out, if he's higher than 5'5", no way. Yeah, no. Tom Cruise is known for how short he is. Yeah, that's the thing. They're all short and they got big heads. That's what I hear. See, now I got too big of a body and a small head. That's why I didn't make it.
I'm not movie star good looking, so I can't do none of that. So.
There's something about that body type that just must look right on camera, I guess. I don't know.
It fits the frame. So
because like I've seen a lot of these actors, then when I see them in real life, it's true. They're tiny, but they got big heads.
Yeah.
A perfect example of that, I couldn't believe how small he was LeVar Burton. Holy shit, I thought I was gonna break the man when I shook his head. He looked so small. He's tiny as fuck. It's like, is that Gary Cole? No, that's fucking LeVar Burton. I thought it was Gary Coleman for a second.
Oh my god.
Like, what the fuck? No, he's a great guy though. He's very generous, very nice, very sweet, but like he's tiny, like so tiny. I couldn't believe how small he was. It's like, oh my god, like I could eat him in one bite. Like Brent Spiner was kind of tall considering. He like it's funny how you see these people. And it's like, how do they make them look so normal? Like all the shit they must go through on just to make people look, like they're not that much small. Because like Brent Spiner is like a normal size. I think he's a little taller than me, so he's probably close to 6 foot. And but no, and then they walk up and it's like there's that much difference between Brent Spiner and fucking LeVar Burton. It's like holy shit. And then I'm like thinking, okay, so I wonder, I'm sitting here going, God, Patrick Stewart, I bet he's tiny. Well, then they didn't have him there, but they had his uniform from the Generations movie because I think it was the anniversary for that. And I'm like, oh wow, he must be like 6 foot. He must actually be pretty tall because his uniform was actually pretty tall. I was like, wow, I'm kind of impressed. Same thing with Riker. I think he's probably pretty tall because he was pretty tall too.
Yeah,
but I didn't get to see him real close.
Is pretty tall.
Yeah, I didn't get to see him real close, but he was farther away because they had most. And this was the other thing that pissed me off the year I was there because they had almost every single member of the Next Generation crew there except for Patrick Stewart and I'm trying to think who else. Maybe one other person, and it's like you didn't have any kind of reunion on stage with them all.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had a panel with Riker and what's her face, who plays his wife. Oh God, I just forgot her damn name.
Troy.
Yeah,
I can't think.
And then the
Marina
doctor.
Sirtis.
Yeah, and the
Marina
doctor,
Sirtis.
and then they had the doctors all on one panel instead. Like they had them all spread out on these other panels. I'm like, why did you not get a Generations group together? What the fuck?
Yeah, why wouldn't?
And they had like all the living original members except for Takai in the same place. I mean, because we had Nichelle Nichols and Shatner there at that time. So besides from Takai no, Walter Koenig wasn't there. So like besides from those two, you had those two there, right? So like, man, I mean, it was anyway. We're getting way off the beaten path.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got, Greg.
Do you want me to do Rook? Do you want me to do it before you do it?
Yeah, that's fine. Because you have an extra pick. So
He's still looking for his movie.
Nope, I found it. But
he called his sister and said, "Can you bring me that movie I borrowed from you?"
Nope. I found it. I had organized my movies recently, so I found it easily.
I'll keep it. This will connect to Young Guns here in a minute. I'll explain since you brought up Young Guns. But I did watch Pure Country with George Strait.
I want that movie.
I love this movie. I don't care what anybody says.
I've never actually seen it. I have the soundtrack, but I have never seen the movie.
I have the soundtrack right there. That's what I was going to bring up since we were
talking music. Why do I feel like mine has the cover like the? Wow.
This is old. I've had this,
Maybe, maybe it does look like that, and I just don't remember it. But yeah,
that's the original.
I mean, it is basically that same image that's behind there. I see that now, but like for some reason, I swear it has them out with the guitar there at the bottom instead.
Yeah. But I love this movie, and how does this connect to Young Guns, you might ask? And it also connects to somebody else that I just recently put two and two together, and I don't know why. Well, this movie is directed by Christopher Kane. You know who directed Young Guns Part 1? Christopher Kane. Do you know who Christopher Kane is? Dean Kane's father.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes, we talked to him a little bit about that. Yeah, I remember that.
I never put that two together, that Dean Kane's father is Christopher Kane, who directed.
I'm supposed he was pissed he didn't get to be in Young Guns. That's bullshit. What the fuck,
I don't know
Dad?
how old he was.
He'd have been perfect age for it at that time. He was Superman not too long after that movie came out.
Yeah. I'm surprised he wasn't in it.
Was he still playing football at that point, though? I don't remember.
He might have been. He might have been in New York.
That's what I was wondering. I'm trying to remember how many years it was before he. Yeah, I'm trying to remember now. It's been so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm old.
So am I. But no, I've always loved this. I actually saw this movie in theaters when I was young with my family. I've always loved it. Like we've talked about before. No, but you don't realize that 90s country was massive in the 90s. I mean, now let's say 90 country, but country music was massive in the 90s. And this movie, even though yes, it did not do very well at the box office, but the soundtrack, that's why I brought the soundtrack. The soundtrack was huge. It's actually like maybe three of these songs are actually on George Strait's #1 hits of all time country album that he put out.
There's a big reason why country was huge in the 90s.
What's funny is George Strait doesn't like him.
I know.
When George Strait and George Jones, who Garth Brooks claims is two of the biggest heroes he's ever had in country music, when George Strait, George Jones say something's off about Garth Brooks, I listen to that. I'm not saying that Garth Brooks doesn't have good music. He does.
I love the conspiracy theory. I know he's a phony. He's a better rock star than he's a country singer. I'll tell you what Garth Brooks is. He's a guy who is clearly a talented musician, but he was smart enough to figure out that it's much easier to break into country music than it is to break into rock and roll.
Mm-hmm. Especially back at that time.
And he came in and he blew the fucking lid off that whole thing. Like he started the 90s country craze, because before that it was all rhinestones and Dolly Parton type stuff.
Yeah,
right?
It was, yes.
And that was falling off. And then Garth Brooks came in and kind of started this new kind of bad boy country that, like, what's the space you just had there, and Travis Tritt and all those guys were kind of part of. And yeah, they may not have all been friendly and whatnot, but there's this whole conspiracy thing about Garth Brooks about he's some serial killer. Have you seen this?
Yes. I know this. I know this one, because every town he visits, kids disappear.
There's people disappear and murders or something.
Yes.
It's like, you do realize they're going all over hell and murders happen in towns all the time. I mean, I'm sure you could do the same thing with anybody else ever. But just the fact that they're like somebody's convinced that Garth Brooks is like this secret serial killer.
I know. And there's people that do deep dive videos on that, like really deep dive videos.
Yeah. Well, see, Chris Gaines is when he jumped the shark, Ace. That was the moment where he jumped the shark. That was when he, okay, now you're become Ridley Scott. He was fine before. He was just kicking out decent country songs. Like, it was really cool when he was on Kiss My Ass, the album that was a tribute. He did the best song on there. I don't give a shit what anybody says. His version of Hard Luck Woman is amazing. But yeah, like,
no, like I said, he's a great musician.
Billy Ray Cyrus. Oh my God.
And
that's the other end of that spectrum, man. That's
he did that video with Dolly.
He did Romeo. That's a good song.
Yeah, Romeo. That's not a bad one. No. But for anybody who wants to know what this movie's about, because I really do like this movie.
Yeah,
and it's fun to watch George Strait try to act. He's doing his best. Don't get me wrong. He's not an actor, and he knew he wasn't an actor, but he's great in this. So what is this movie about? George Strait plays this country music star. It's 1992. His name is Dusty. He's this massive country music star, and he kind of gets this like fed up with the show he's doing, right? It's all these smokes and big like glamorous show, and he kind of just leaves. And he meets this girl at an old honky tonk that he used to do. You know, he shaves his beard and he has like long hair. That's why you like mentioned Billy Ray Cyrus, because I kind of think maybe they're knocking Billy Ray Cyrus a little bit, or maybe this was before him. I don't know. But anyway, he like has long hair and a beard, and he shaves it all off, cuts it all off, and he goes back to find his roots and then get back to where he was, and he falls in love with this woman and everything, and she doesn't know who he is because shaving a haircut changes a man, and it goes from there. So it's kind of like a sort of a Hallmark movie, really, because like this country girl who's a rodeo star meets this man who just so happens to be a really super rich a country star, but it's really 90s country and everything, and it's a really just like solid fun movie. I mean, this is a movie that's just designed to entertain you. There's something about this movie. I posted a picture of it a couple of days ago, and you would not believe how many people responded to it and saying like, I don't like country music, but I love this movie. There's just something about this movie when you sit down and you start watching it, it sucks you in and you get entertained and you just have a fun time. And yes, Kyle Chandler is in this movie. This is one of his very first roles. He plays the arrogant kid who wants to become bigger than Dusty, who kind of screws everything over and everything at times. But yeah, you've never seen it, Tom. I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's a fun movie. And George Strait, bless his heart, he tries, but it's fun. It's fun. I really enjoy this movie. And I didn't even realize Christopher Kane was the director of Young Guns or Dean Kane's dad till after I watched this movie, because I was like, I wonder who directed this. And it's like, I put two and two together. Yeah, there's like a scene that is so 90s. I don't know if they were quite spoofing him or not when he's the big rock star, but like there's this outfit that George Strait is wearing when he's rehearsing, and he's got the long hair and a ponytail and the beard, and he's like wearing this like button-up shirt that's real bright with blue jeans on and like the pump-up Reebok shoes. Right. And I'm just like, it kind of reminded me of Billy Ray Cyrus. So I don't know. I'd have to look back in time when Billy Ray Cyrus came real big. So I don't know if this was that time, but no, this is a fun movie. It's a Warner Archive movie. It looks really good. All that it has on this is
I'm sure it was probably making fun of him or some facsimile thereof, because it is that era.
Yeah, it might have been. But like all this has is like the music video for Across My Heart and the trailer. But go ahead.
You're basically explaining what happened. Like that's probably what that movie's kind of chronicling, was that transfer from the honky tonk / rhinestones into the, God, what would you have called what fucking Billy Ray was doing? It was more like,
he was like
trailer trash rock. I don't know what the fuck you would call it.
That won't tear my heart.
I mean, the look was like, again, like with Dolly, it was kind of like the male version of that, but only not as good as far as musical wise. Like, look, I'll give Billy Ray, like, he has other songs that were much better than Achy Breaky Heart, and that's what he's well known for, let's be real. But like, he was definitely like the idea of this idealized, marketed, patented, put together by committee kind of thing.
Yeah.
That George Strait and Garth Brooks and all those guys were kind of Dwight Yoakam especially, and those guys were kind of like, those were like the bad boys of country, right? Like they were coming in like the rebel rock of country.
Yeah.
Like it felt like they were coming in and singing like, you guys forgot that we used to drink beer and stuff like that. We came from the, it's like, you forgot our roots are Johnny Cash and Hank Williams. It's like, well, come on guys, like, what the fuck are we doing here? Rhinestones and fucking Achy Breaky Hearts.
Yeah, because that's like the whole antithesis of this movie is like, he doesn't want the flashy light shows. He doesn't want the flashy
the
jacket
Nashville
with the
shit,
frillies and stuff. He wants to just sit on the stage and he wants to play his guitar because he's good at music and he's good at singing, and that's what he loves. that's what he wants to do. And yeah, it talks at the honky tonk, drinking beer, doing the line dancing and riding horses, roping cows, and being country. That's what it's pure, for lack of better words, it's pure country. That's what it's getting to. So Waylon thought what's his name was a joke.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it's definitely taking it back to the Waylon and Willie days. That's the like I said, the rebels, the guys that reminded you that
Yeah, Dwight Yoakam is good. No, we weren't saying he wasn't. Those guys were great. That's what we're saying. Like, these guys were huge. George Strait, Dwight Yoakam, Travis Tritt, they were freaking massive in the 90s. Huge. And some of the greatest country music came out in the 90s.
Travis Tritt is probably on the edge of that. Like, he's like on the edge.
Yeah, he's a little more.
He's like right in between. Yeah.
Because that could also be a little bit of like him making a little fun of Travis Trittness as well, too, with the long hair and the beard and stuff. So,
yeah, because that would have definitely also been there in the Trouble age as well. So like,
yeah.
And then you had the female side of it too, with all the Faith Hills and the Shania Twains, and they were kind of like taking what Dolly had done and then to the next level of that. And that's why I said like these guys were kind of trying to do what, and especially George Strait with this movie. And I want to see this movie because I know it's a pretty good movie.
You'll love this. I think you'll love this. It
was made for CMT. I mean, practically. I mean,
yeah, practically. I mean, it was in theaters, but yes, this is a CMT movie. And the
I swear
soundtrack
it was on there all the time. I don't know how I missed it, but yeah.
Yeah, this soundtrack. I mean, I know I listen to stuff like this, but I do love 90s country, and this soundtrack is a really, really. I mean, like every song is George Strait, because he sings every song in the movie. So it's really good though. But like I said, there's like 3 or 4 songs, maybe 3 off of this it's George Strait #1 hit album. It's the greatest hits of all time because it was more successful than the movie. But the movie is fun. I think it's gained an audience over the years, and it's found its way amongst people. And that's pretty cool, Barry, that you're tight with Shooter Jennings. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
And Jose, I suggest you check out the Traveling Wilburys if you haven't already.
But yeah, I figured that you were talking a little bit about Young Guns. Sorry, Young Guns.
Now there's a country singer who can actually act.
Yeah, he can. Yeah.
I fucking love Dwight Yoakam and everything I've seen him in.
Yeah, he's really, really good.
In fact, I didn't even realize it was him in fucking Sling Blade. I was like, I saw him in the credits. I'm like, wait, who was Dwight Yoakam in this?
He takes that hat off and you don't even know it's him because he's bald underneath of it.
Well, not just that, he just completely transforms into that character. It's like a completely different person. It kind of reminded me of Donnie Wahlberg in Sixth Sense. Because I'm like going, who the fuck? Where's Donnie Wahlberg throughout the whole movie? My girlfriend at the time, who happened to actually be my son's mom, is like, he was in the beginning. I'm like, when? She's like, he's the guy that shoots Bruce Willis. I'm like, what? That was not Donnie Wahlberg.
He does lose himself in that movie.
Oh my God, he was completely different. Yeah. But but Strait, I'm trying to think, has he done anything else besides that?
No, because he actually did after he made this movie. Actually, he makes an appearance in the straight to video sequel, Pure Country 2, also directed by Christopher Kane. But that was a straight up CMTV movie. That's made for CMTV. It's not as good as this one. But no, he admitted after the movie, he's like, I'm not an actor. I can't act. I'm done. I'm going to stick to music. So, and he's really not bad in this. He plays you like a country boy.
Well, that was kind of the one thing that generation was missing, right? Because the Dolly Parton generation, the ones that you had Willie and all these guys who would both go from music and acting like interchangeably, right? Like a lot of these guys, we knew them for both things, and they were like household names because of that kind of a thing. But it's like that generation kind of lost that, and it's sad. But because there was that one, and there was another movie around the same time. It was like Cowgirls Don't Get the Blues or something like that. It's also another one.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. That's kind of very much in the similar vein where it's got a lot of country hits on it and stuff like that. But like, yeah, there just wasn't a lot of crossover. Reba was probably the last one I remember really crossing over.
Yeah,
but she was kind of like some of the old guard, kind of the last of them, kind of crossing over into movies and television, and then just kind of fell off like he didn't have it no more. Like I'm trying to remember Billy Ray Cyrus, I guess, would be the closest thing but that was just because he came back around because of his kid being famous.
Yeah, he kind of just became an actor, not a singer.
Yeah, kind of out of just because of that more so than anything. But like otherwise, like Kenny Rogers used to do it back in the day all the time too.
Yeah, Kenny Rogers. Speaking of Kenny Rogers, Chris Christopherson, I mean, these are the older guys though as well. Travis Tritt, he did try to become an actor. And
there was a few, but it's just not the same, like
they mostly did TV movies. They mostly did the Gambler movies with Kenny Rogers.
Oh, and then you also had what's his face with in all the Burt Reynolds movies and stuff. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah,
Amos Moses. He sang that in Eastbound and Down.
Yeah.
God damn, what the hell is his name? Blah, 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 blah. He's in The Waterboy.
From The Waterboy. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name, but he's from The Waterboy. Didn't he sing Convoy? Didn't he sing Convoy?
No, he didn't do Convoy. That was Glenn Campbell, but he did When You're Hot, You're Hot. That's right. And
when you're hot,
she got the gold mine and I got the shaft.
Yep. I can't think of his name.
Oh God, help us out, chat.
Yes, what is that guy's name from The Waterboy?
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Look, I'm gonna look it up because I can't.
Eastbound and Down, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll remember Jerry. Yes,
Reed. It's Jerry something. Come on, load up. I know it. Where you guys at?
Jerry Reed. I was right. Okay, yes.
Yes, Jerry Reed. Yes, Jerry
my brain
Reed.
did not fail me. I worked faster than your computer. Yes.
Yes, you did. Because my internet was going slow when I was trying to load up the cast.
As long as I can work faster than slow internet, I'm good.
There you go. But no, I like Pure Country. I think it is a great movie. I think you would enjoy it. Rook, I don't know about you. You're Rook.
I have a perfect movie to hop off that unless Rook's got a movie ready.
Perfect. Go ahead. Rook, unless you want to do your movie.
If you're hopping off or not, you're going to one that ties in with that one, you can go ahead.
Well,
I have two picks, and you said you have 4 anyway, so I think that's fine if you go, and then I'll go.
Between my other ones, yeah. Because this ties right into the conversation we're having. Of course, had to watch this last night.
Working 9
to 5. I've seen that movie a long time ago.
It's a classic. I mean, it is. I mean, why this doesn't have a standard Blu-ray release is a fucking crime.
Mm-hmm.
Disney, you own one of the best feminist films of all time. I can actually even stand Hannah Way Jane in this movie.
Yeah.
It was her fucking idea. Right? Like, I mean, this movie is a fucking cinematic classic, and the fact that it has been buried in OOP territory for so long is fucking bullshit.
Big time.
Because I'm sorry, like, this is the kind of movie they wish they were making now.
Mm-hmm.
Because the best part about it is it's realistic, although it is an out there comedy. So what's it about? Well, it's about this group of women who work at this office who are fed up with their boss, and they, through a series of mishaps, believe they killed him, and instead end up kidnapping him because they're already in so deep in it. It's a hilarious film. If you haven't seen it already, do yourself a favor. I'm sure it's on streaming somewhere, maybe. I don't know. I'm thinking the DVD's out there. So I think Fox did because all the special features on here are from the old Fox DVD. So I don't know. You'd have to tell me, Greg, if it's pretty available yet on DVD. But the Blu-ray has never been really readily available. So yeah.
Yeah, the Blu-ray was made by Twilight Time, as we talked about before, and it was it's very, very, very hard to find. It's out of print, and like you said, why they haven't put this one out is insane to me, because this fits their mold completely.
Yeah.
So,
like, when I think of a feminist movie, 9 to 5 is one of the movies that comes to mind, right? Like, I mean, it's the whole idea of women in the workplace and women's lib and
but nowadays they need them to like be able to punch somebody in the face or something. They need them to be able to do more masculine role stuff nowadays. And
you know what? Actually, I figured it out, Rook. You know why it is? It's because they actually don't go through with it. See, now if they actually killed their boss, then it would be a different story. See, because the thing is the way these folks nowadays think it's justified to be doing it. See, that's the thing, is the whole joke of the movie is they fantasize about this shit, but then when it becomes real, it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Nowadays, nowadays they probably see it as these incompetent women failing to kill their boss that they deserve to kill or something. And so they're like,
In a way, you're
why
not
we
wrong.
promote? That's probably how they would see it and why they don't promote it as much. Because it's like incompetent women can't even kill their boss. What are they doing?
Well, no, they wouldn't do that, but they would justify them killing him by the end.
Oh,
In
right.
some
Yeah.
way, shape, or
Yeah.
form.
He's more evil than he was or something. That's it's what they do.
something. Because
There's
like
no
that's
redeeming qualities.
No, well, there is no redeeming qualities to Dabney Coleman's character, but that doesn't matter.
No, but that's what
the
they would
movie
say.
knows
That would
yeah,
say.
but the movie, at least back then, they knew how to take it up to the line, right? Like even the whole murder, like initially. So what happens is the girls are sitting around smoking pot, and they're all talking about their fantasy of how they would love to kill their boss, right? Which is something that a lot of people have done. Like it's not an abnormal thing, but nobody actually literally and means it, right? Like that's kind of the whole idea of the story, even though that's not where it initially initiated. I'll get back to that, but like. And then what happens is oh God, I just forgot it. Lily Tomlin's character is getting coffee for Dabney Coleman, and she had stopped at the grocery store for some groceries for both work and the home, and she picked up rat poison, which just happens to be in the same exact color, box, and shape and size as the sweet and low that she's used to putting in his coffee. Well, in her frazzled nature state, she doesn't realize she put in rat poison. Well. And they set up this perfect joke throughout the early part of the film where Dabney Coleman's chair is broken. So when he goes to drink the coffee, he tips over and hits his head on the credenza. But then when she comes in back from whatever she was doing, she sees the ambulance and they're taking him off and they said the boss is in the ambulance. She realizes after she sees the rat poison, she goes, oh shit, she thinks she kills him. So this sets off this whole chain of events that becomes the movie, right? So, and I don't want to give too much away just in case you haven't seen it, but for most people who have seen it on the panel and in the chat, I mean, I'm sure, kind of know. Yeah, there's certain aspects of the ending. It's like, oh yeah, that's really convenient for a movie, but at least it wraps itself up in a way that's mostly believable.
Well, it's good cause. It's a good cause and effect sort of thing where you see this leads to that, which leads to this, which is why they do this, and then they do that, and that's why if only they just a second ago did this or something, then they would know. But this is what causes the events of the movie to roll the way it does. So. It's believable enough.
Yeah, and I also think like you guys talked about how like today they'd have him actually off their boss. Is like I think people back then that I don't think they would have liked to see these three women actually do that because you get invested in these women and their characters and everything what they're going through and their plight, and doing that to the boss and not being able to wrap that up in a certain way that would have been. Like that, but like you would lose the respect that you build up for these characters in the movies. Now, like you mentioned today's day and age, they'd do it anyways because that's what they'd want them to do. So, yeah.
But no, I mean the ladies are great, and the story initially started as a serious work drama, I guess. Lily Tomlin had not Lily Tomlin. Jane Fonda had originally envisioned it as kind of like probably more along the lines of Working Girl, I'd imagine. What became Working Girl. Excuse me, but like the whole idea was these guys, these women that were going to kill their boss. Well, then I can't remember exactly how it went down, but she talks about a little bit the making of it. But she ended up seeing Lily Tomlin's stand-up routine first, and or hearing Dolly's music on the radio, and just it all clicked. She said, like, if I can get those two with me, and that's when it shifted gears into a comedy. So it went from just being like a serious kind of drama to this. A comedy of errors, basically, as Rook was kind of explaining there, and that's it's a perfect example of that. And I think they even did make a play of it years later, which makes sense.
I think they did,
because it has all the hallmarks that you need, and most of it takes place in the one place for the most part, if not two places. So it's really easy to do that with. But then of course you got Dolly doing the song, which is her biggest hit, probably arguably. And I mean, to me, that was the song when I was young. Like it was everywhere. I mean, it was one of my favorite songs.
Did they make the movie first or the song first?
No, the song came from the movie.
Okay. She wrote the song during filming. It just came to her.
She said in one of the stories I remember her talking about is she had gotten the idea because like when they would walk through the offices and stuff, you'd have all the clicking and stuff of the typewriters, and the click, 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 and she was sitting there one day with her big old nails on the table, just going. And then the melody just came to her head, and the whole idea of 9 to 5, that's the whole thing. And so she actually did a sequel to 9 to 5 not too long ago.
Did she?
And she did a sequel to Jolene as well. Yeah.
Oh, you mean the song? I thought.
The song. Yeah, the song is called 5 to 9, and then the Son of Jolene is the other song. That's
yeah. Just think though, like she wrote Jolene and I Will Always Love You in the same night.
Yep. Yeah.
You believe that? That's genius.
Well, she wrote one of her songs as she was in the waiting room in Johnny Carson's show.
Yeah. I mean, that's somebody who had real, genuine music.
This was
talent.
like, I remember an interview with her like 30 years ago, and at this time she had said she had written like 250 songs. So God knows how many she had written. And she even has one song that Six actually sent me the thing for, and it was really touching to see. She had written a song that's to be released on her 100th birthday that only she's heard, or whatever, knows the lyrics to it and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what that is. But yeah, I mean, her character in the film, she was the most nervous getting into the movie because this was her first movie, right? Dolly was, Dolly at that time, but I mean, she wasn't the personality that we know her now. And it's kind of weird to think of that because like when she's in this role, it almost feels like she was meant to always be this character, these characters, these that she plays. It's like, I mean, it just fits her nature to be an actress, even more so probably than a musician in some ways, it feels like, but she's a great musician and people overlook her voice big time. And not just that, her guitar playing, she's an excellent guitar player. So like, I mean, and her voice, especially like that, people overlook that all the time. Yeah, they get into the whole idea that she's this trashy, classy country singer. But like, if you really listen to her voice, she has a very, very distinct and beautiful range for what she can sing. And you even listen to like, I Will Always Love You. Sure, it's not nearly in the same dynamics as Whitney Houston's, but it's got a lot more emotion to it.
Yeah. I mean, listen to her cover of, speaking of, like we mentioned Collective Soul last week, listen to her cover of Shine.
I've never heard that. I'll have to check that out now.
Oh, you haven't heard it? It's really good. It's really
that's the thing. She was pumping, like Dolly used to pump out albums like nobody's business, right? So I'm sure she's covered just about every song. Yeah. Well, I know she did a rock album here not too long ago too, like a couple of years back. So I haven't got a chance to really listen to it. I heard like one or two of the songs, but yeah. Yeah, then Dabney Coleman, this was also one of his first, if not his first big roles. Well, I'm trying to remember, I think they say it's his first big movie in the.
Well, it's like I feel like how much of the cast is also in Beverly Hillbillies? Because I know at least funny, isn't it? 2, 3, 4. I'm like, well, wait, hold on, how many are?
I love that they are
crossover.
And because if you remember, like I always say that the Beverly Hillbillies movies was one of the overlooked ones of that era. That was probably one of the better versions. Like to me, it holds up right next to Addams Family as far as being faithful to the original and nailing the cast and the tone and all that business. So
and keeping with the tone of 90s country music, it's very 90s country music in that movie too. For
yes.
I'm trying to remember because I do believe there is a country music. Dolly Parton's in that. Yeah, that's right. Dolly Parton's is in it. Yeah,
she shows up for Jeff's birthday.
Yeah.
Little cameo,
yeah.
It's got a good song in it, and then there's the whole soundtrack's full of country stuff. Yeah,
it's interesting.
But anyway, in the movie, it's funny because like Jane Fonda plays the mousy one in the group, where she would probably be most like Lily Tomlin, but like Lily Tomlin is the lead in the movie more so because she's the one who's been there the longest. She's the one who, is basically running the whole organization for Dabney Coleman. And like I said, yeah, he doesn't get mentioned as much normally in the movie, but he is overlooked. But that's the thing is, you're right. You have to keep that balance between this guy's an unlikable asshole, but yet you still don't think he deserves to die.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
and you don't want them to do it because
which is good because that's the kind of morals that most people would have, where it's like, no, don't actually kill the guy. As for nowadays, I feel like people would, or the creators would miss the proper morality stance on it or something, or they'd go, okay, we'll let you live, but you really owe us more still, or something. After
that, Dabney really nailed this kind of character, like, and he played this type of role pretty much for the rest of his career. Yeah. I mean, the lovable assholes.
That's what Boba Fett said. He got typecast. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Good one.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if this was first or Tootsie was first, but I think they said the making of it. This was before Tootsie, so. Or they said this was his first role, so.
So, yeah.
So I'm assuming he did both of them the same year, but yeah. Basically playing pretty much the same character, right?
Yeah, the same guy.
And he pretty much plays the same character in Hot to Trot. He
pretty much.
And everything else. Yeah.
Everything else.
Mr. Drysdale is probably the one exception, but he's still a little bit of a greasy
just slightly,
slightly, just twisted a little bit, but not
just
as
a little bit.
Was it Dolly's best role? That's a good question. You know, I'm a little more partial to her in Straight Talk because I feel like that's the most Dolly of her roles. Like I feel like she's like the most herself. But as far as prolific wise, oh yeah, that's the one that she'll always, I mean, as you saw the last day or two, that she'll always be known for. Nobody's mentioning Straight Talk but James Woods. So
yeah, or Still Magnolias is
Still Magnolias, of course, they also mentioned in the same breath.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's more so synonymous with 9 to 5, also because that's her biggest hit, of course.
Yeah,
but,
that's a big.
I don't hate it. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be when I finally saw it, and it's been 20 years probably since I've seen it or more. But like, I was expecting it to be really bad, and I think actually I enjoyed it a lot more for that reason. That it's like it's a bad movie, but it's not.
I think the worst part of it is it's Stallone singing.
Yes,
I think
that's kind of part of the charm and the joke of it all. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you couldn't make this movie any other way, I guess. Like it almost feels like one of those things that should have worked. It just didn't. I don't know how else to. It should have worked.
If you maybe had John Travolta instead of Stallone.
You know, honestly, I think I said that during a conversation one time with somebody because I was like, yeah, in an alternate universe, John Travolta's in that movie and it's probably a huge hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because John Travolta he fits enough to where you could believe him as a city slicker guy because he is.
Mm-hmm.
But between coming off of Urban Cowboy, it probably would have been the better bet. And he can sing. So, yeah. I mean, I've never heard him really sing country, but I'm sure he could.
Yeah, I'm sure he could.
I mean, it's not that far of a stretch from like Hillbilly Rock that he was doing in Grease, basically. So, I mean,
he could have did it. He could have pulled that off.
I think he could have pulled it off. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, but Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, that's probably my personally favorite one, honestly. But that's just because that movie it's just got a special place in my heart. I don't know why. It just always has.
That movie is, like you said, Straight Talk. For some whatever, like those are the two Dolly Parton movies I remember the most. And the ones I tended to watch the most was Straight Talk and Best Little Whorehouse.
And I would have watched Best Whorehouse, but I just watched that. How long?
Yeah,
like what? A couple weeks ago when months ago when it came out.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Kino, how about that one? You done missed up on that one. You should have done that in 4K.
They'll get it. Watch tomorrow. They'll announce a 4K of it.
Why would they name it that? Because it was the Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Yes, that's why. That's why.
The Chicken Ranch.
All right.
Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. I bet you never thought you'd hear Jim Neighbors say the words whorehouse.
Whorehouse. Happier than Jim Neighbors and a wheelbarrow full of buttholes.
Which is so funny considering all the fucking Christian music he put out. It's just like, really, was he that gay?
Was he?
I mean, that's the joke, the ongoing joke for years. I mean, he must be at this point, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't matter anymore.
He's dead now. So
no, I mean, I'm just like, that's the way history remembers him, is that he's gay, I guess.
Yeah, so. That's it. I mean, before that, though, you know, like you said, the Christian albums, Andy Griffin and everything.
Surprise.
But
we got a long way off the beaten path. Yeah, 9 to 5. It needs a new release.
Come on.
And it doesn't look that bad either. I mean, I don't know if they did a 4K scan of it for this initial release or not, but it looks pretty good for the time. So,
yeah. All right, Rook, do you finally want to do your pick, or?
Yep.
Are you still playing with your pussy there?
Yep, she's off my lap now, so I am good.
Wrong person. There we go.
Yep. So we got upside down.
It's upside down.
Yep. There we go. So my buddy was like talking about a movie, and I was like, you know what? I actually don't think I've seen it all the way through. That is Batman Forever. Because he was talking about the other one with Mr. Freeze, and I was like, okay. And then actually, I don't think I've seen the Jack Nicholson one either. Honestly,
you've never even seen the original Batman.
I think I've only seen like the scene where she like pours water on the Joker's face, and he I don't know. Like I've seen that scene. That's about it. I've seen Returns a ton of times because they show that on TV all the time on FX. I've seen that 1,000 times. But I've seen Batman and Robin. Quotes and everything. Schwarzenegger. Heck yeah, funny. But yeah, so I watched this for the first time. Batman Forever, which is yes, of course, it is a silly ass movie. That is definitely what it is. But watching it the whole way through, like I could watch it through and not be as eager to turn it off or anything. I'm kind of impressed by the sets too. Like they're kooky and weird, but in a creative way. I'm impressed by the creativity they got on this film, honestly. And the characters are bizarre, but I mean, I feel like that is obviously the vibe they're going for. But it is kind of funny the contrast of these two obviously seem to be going for a darker tone, and then these are going for a lighter tone. And I don't remember which of these go first. I assume it's this one, and then this one, and this one, this one. I don't know. I don't know which one's in what order.
Batman with Jack Nicholson, then Batman Returns, then Batman Forever, then Batman and Robin.
Okay, the way it's positioned on here, it confused me, so I don't know. But
oh my god, Rookie.
But I remember the Clooney one, and I didn't really like Clooney as Batman. It was kind of meh as Batman. Keaton's cool, but I think that Conroy, or Val Kilmer, sorry, right? That's him and so yeah,
Val Kilmer's Batman.
Yeah, I like that one. That Batman better. It portrays a decent Batman and Bruce Wayne. You got what's her face, Nicole Kidman's fucking bombshell. Nice. A lot of the scenes are just the wind's blowing on her all the time. Okay, that's just, you kind of miss that a little. You see a lot of stuff, and they don't make it extra like that these days. Sometimes they shoot things pretty plainly a lot these days, so that's kind of nice to see a little bit of that. Jim Carrey is, if anything, I'd just say he's classic Jim Carrey because he's, but this time he's the Riddler instead of a different character, so that's fine.
Over the top. I never can tell.
yeah, pretty much. And Tommy Lee Jones though as Two-Face, that is great. I feel like I don't know if he's ever done a role like that before. I haven't seen him do any.
He was doing so well until then.
Yeah.
He was. You were on a roll until then. I was enjoying that until you had to say that. No, Tommy Lee Jones is fucking wretched in that movie.
Well, maybe it's just I've seen him in such other raw stuff that seeing him be goofy was nice. I appreciated the attempt, I guess, with it. Some of their jokes again. Their jokes are sometimes it'll catch me as the jokes are just oh god, shoot me, but they rolled just enough on this to keep me okay, it's okay. Very silly movie and a very silly attempt at. I mean, if you're gonna say that, he's not better than the other. I've only seen one other Harvey Dent, so I don't really know any other comparisons between the two. Of course,
he's basically trying to be Jim Carrey, and it's not working.
Well, it's
he's trying to outdo Jim Carrey, and it's dude, just be Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, that probably could have been better. In that way, but I didn't feel that they were too similar. He tries to be a little bit more serious in a couple of scenes, but then he goes goofy and starts laughing like crazy, and it is a little he almost did he want to be a Joker kind of a character, I assume, with some of the
that's the other thing too. Is I'm sure he had no frame of reference, because the Two-Face was one of the only characters of the main bad guys that was never on the Adam West series, so he probably had no real frame of reference. He's following Jack Nicholson and Danny DeVito, and he's up against Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
So he's got all those things factored in there. And so instead of actually doing what he should have done, going more darker and being the dark part of that script, they chose to ham it up and make him basically another Joker.
I feel like what maybe would have worked better is if half the time he is serious, and the other time he is kind of goofy.
He's kind of supposed to be.
Go with their Two-Face thing.
They don't really do the Two-Face bit, right? He's hardly ever really Two-Face.
They do. I guess the scene that stuck out the most was when he meets the Riddler. He seemed the most serious in that scene. I guess, but that was a decent enough interaction.
And they do have him flipping the coin sometimes, but to kind of really understand what Two-Face is he's not he's not this elaborate kind of flashy character. He's a very tortured character.
Well, yeah, I'm like the Nolan trilogy, and Harvey Dent.
That's probably
Dark
one of the
Knight
better
one.
renditions of him. Yeah,
That's a really
It's more- a
like
little
that's
more
obviously a
close to
better
who he is.
version of Two-Face. But I guess I'm just saying, as Tommy Lee Jones playing this type of character, I thought was neat to see. Kind of like seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger be a goofball, all these quotes and whatever, like that. That kind of is what I'm getting at. Just
well, that's even just
I
that to the
enjoyed
nth
seeing.
degree.
I enjoy seeing them do that because that is very bizarre to see them doing it the way they're doing it. So
Batman and Batman Return, all these movies are supposed to be they're all supposed to be the same Batman. So
really,
yes,
they're supposed to be. Yes,
they're supposed.
I
to
would
be.
think.
Well, did you not notice the entire cast is the same except for
It's
Batman?
the same cast. Well, he's only ever seen 2 of them apparently.
Well,
Yeah.
well, no. So there's there's Alicia Silverstone and Batman
There's
and
actually
Robin,
continuity if you'd watch them in
and
order.
then the other ones I don't know.
There's not
but
as much as you're used to with Marvel movies, but
the
like
main one, the main one I've seen is the Batman Returns. So that's like the main ones
like
in my
Batman
head.
Returns does
So.
mention letting Vicky Vale into the Batcave and shit like that, and then
Yeah.
Batman Forever is when Robin shows up and he's already there in part 4. So I mean, there is an established kind of.
But like
No.
my brain, but I'm not going to connect those dots because
But-
like when I saw Batman and Robin,
Okay,
that was forever ago.
basically,
So.
Batman and
you know.
Robin are made by Tim Burton, and Tim Burton is a guy who made them in spite of comic books, right?
Right.
Like he is not a comic book fan, and that
But, like,
shows through in what Batman becomes through those movies. Now we love
Right.
those movies,
Mm-hmm.
but they are some of the worst representations of what Batman actually
Oh
is.
yeah, definitely. I
Then
totally
you
agree.
get to Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, and again, instead of you got Joel Schumacher, who instead of being a fan of comics, his idea of what comic books are is those funny books I grew up with when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like to him, he knows the Adam West series, and so him it's got to be flamboyant. Plus he got the note that to make it kid friendly. So he was just doing what he was told. Right.
Right.
So
I'm probably trying to make merchandise for kids or something.
Absolutely. It was
sell
all about,
toys.
in fact, that's where the word toyetic came from.
Yeah.
Like,
I can totally tell that vibe was totally throughout the movie.
That was one of his mandates was do it more for the kids and make it toyetic. He goes, I never heard that word before, and I had to have it explained to me.
The Batmobile in this looked more like it was designed after a fish or something. I don't know.
That's the whole thing is they allowed basically the
point of
toy
that
people
one
to
was.
design the shit, basically, is what it is. And that's why it all looks like toys.
I mean,
Yeah,
it literally is
but,
like a Hot Wheel scene in the movie.
Yeah, yes, but so I guess how I describe it is Batman Forever looks like it's taking place on a different planet. Like I could almost see the Guardians of the Galaxy showing up, like a normal space hub.
It's a completely different tone.
Looked like it is. I would not connect the Batman.
and that's understandable,
like
especially like at the time, like it was kind of weird transition. Like, I mean, I don't remember how everybody else reacted to it. I mean, I just kind of went with the flow, and it was because at that point, Batman had become so mainstream, it just kind of felt like the natural progression of the franchise. Like, because by the time you get to Batman Forever was so commercial, right? Like, it was a very commercial movie. Like, it was everywhere that summer. You had the McDonald's thing, you had the soundtrack where they literally had like 2 or 3 videos, the cups, you had the toys, they were just shoving it down your fucking throat, whether you wanted it to be there or not.
Yeah.
And it became a huge fucking hit that year, don't get me wrong. But in hindsight, it felt like there was more of a natural progression then than there is now because we were used to that then. Like now looking back at it, like you watch all 4 of those movies back to back to back to back, and you're just like, holy shit, just what the fuck? Like you get whiplash from the tonal shifts.
I would probably have a different experience overall throughout if I watched them like that in a row.
The first film is a very dark and dour film. The second film is lighter, but it's also a more mean-spirited film. Right? It has a mean streak in it. And for better or worse, some people like it, some people hate it. To me, in my opinion, it's the best of the
Batman Returns. It tries to be dark, but don't get me wrong, that one is like silly also, and it's very goofy in its own ways. But I don't know if it knows it's silly.
It's the most Tim Burton of all those films. Right.
Yeah.
It is very much a Tim Burton movie where it's like I'm going to both thrill you and scare you in a way like
but like some of it equaled cringe in a way that's different than like Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Like when like you would hit a woman, would you? Oh, sorry. And then I don't know. I'm just like, this is weird. That hit weird. Like some lines and some jokes were like, really?
Well, it kind of goes to my point of it. Just shows you how different the angles that Schumacher looked at this in comparison to Burton. Right. Like I said, Burton was making it in spite of it being a comic book.
Yeah.
As to where Schumacher was completely
but it's still like, you know, but then like Catwoman having like she owns cats or like has cats. I don't know. It's part of it's just like, okay, like
well, the funny thing is we made fun of Batman and Batman Returns for years, but like slowly over time, like that version of Selina Kyle has now kind of become the version that most people think of and go by. And to me, I honestly like the mutant penguin more than I do the human penguin.
In a way,
I prefer the other version, but I like Danny DeVito's Penguin. To me,
it makes it a little more tragic. It's not big because like the human one makes it seem like he's just another mafia or just another. You could almost have anybody else be that type of person, but with him as a mutation defect, and then he could have had whatever life, but now he goes this way based on what he's gone through. So there's something there. But I guess
not a man. I'm a monster.
But I mean, it's like, but like with the Batman Forever to close up with that, I guess like it is a bad movie, but it is like a watchable bad movie if you can handle the cringe that is in it.
I just love Danny DeVito as the Penguin is so overlooked, and
no, Batman Returns, that one's more watchable. I'm saying Batman Forever.
I mean, Jim Carrey nails basically doing a really good Gorshin, right? Like that's all he's doing is Gorshin on cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
what I mean is Frank Gorshin from the Adam West series. It's literally the same character. Like he's just doing the whole, even the like you get that straight from Frank. Like,
but I will say too, Batman Forever feels really long though. That's one of its probably bad parts to me. Like even more, I'm like
the extended cut. It's like
I'm like, dude. And there's one point I'm like, I swear we've had a third act like 7 times. Like they had confrontations, they run away, they go back, and I was like, oh Jesus, when are they done? Come on, we're not done yet. Okay.
And he cut one of the most pretentious scenes out of the movie. It's cool. I remember seeing it in the trailers, and it's in the comics and in the book adaptation. But like that big bat, that scene, that's what everybody's like. Look, I hate to break everybody's fucking heart about this. The Schumacher cut of Batman Forever is not that different. It is not that different. In fact, you have it. You have it right there in your hands, probably, Rook.
Yeah, probably.
Because all those deleted scenes that are on there is the Schumacher cut.
Mm-hmm.
It's all it is. Yes. I don't know where people are getting this whole idea that it's this darker, like, version of the movie. Go read the comic book adaptation. That's the Schumacher cut. It's literally like basically 3 scenes that are different. You get a little bit more in the opening of, and that's why I think people think it's darker, because you actually get to see Two-Face kill some guys, I think. Mm-hmm. But other than that, he just kills some guys. He breaks out of the asylum and he steals that chemical shit. That's all you're missing in the beginning. And then instead of this version just jumps you right into Batman. And it does move a few things around a little bit to get you there. But then from there on out, the movie plays pretty much exactly the same until you get to the scene where he's in the brain thing, you know, where he's seeing the visions, because that's where he sees that big, huge bat where he's facing his fears.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And all that is just this big, huge extended sequence of him dealing with his parents' death. Like, we really needed that again. And the bat is cool as fuck, because I think Stan Winston made it. It's a super cool, huge, man-sized bat. But
it seems like it wouldn't make sense to have in this movie. Just that's not what this movie needs to tackle. Like, if you're going to tackle it in a movie,
kisses the bat, man. It's like, it's nothing that special. Like, he just comes up to the bat and he accepts the bat, and that's when he comes out and he's like, "I'm Batman." It's like, it's like,
so like that's the kind of thing where if the movie is about him. Like, see, like you would in one of these movies, you would include that if he's like struggling with his identity or something, and like, should I even be Batman anymore? And then I don't know, he goes through some stuff, realizing his reasons why he does it, and
Bruce
bat, you know, there we go.
But he has bats on the brain.
But again, I do like their attention to detail in the sets. There's a lot of good, like they have the bat signal and they have like the question mark that comes out of it. It's a lot of silly visual things, but it's as much of a visual nightmare it is. It's like the kind of thing you don't want to look away from in a way.
I gotta give him that kind of credit. To be able to go from Bo Welch, because he nailed Batman Returns. I mean, the look of Batman. I mean, Batman 1 has a great look to it and a tone, but like Batman 1, you can tell is a lot of matte paintings and a lot. It's very much a very made by hand kind of like, okay, I can see that's a matte painting. That's an animation, for fuck's sake. Like they even have some animations in that movie. By the time you get to Batman Returns, the set design, the character design, that movie's all shot on a set, you can tell, and it feels better because there's something about making it a not real place. Like it just adds to it somehow. And the way that they made Bo Welch like designed everything and made it look, that really stood out to me in that second film. But then you jump to Forever, because you're not wrong. Like it's this psychedelic fucking mushroom fest, right? Because clearly Schumacher's like, oh, I remember the 60s. You know, like,
yeah, I feel like Super Mario or Rocket Raccoon or something is gonna come out and hang out with Batman.
He's having so much fun with this. Like I said, Schumacher's making it for the love of this thing that he remembers as a kid growing up, what comic books meant and what the Adam West show had as an impact on society. Tim Burton, on the other hand, was making it in spite of comic books, because he has flat out said that he's not a comic book fan. In fact, I'm sure he looks down on the medium because he has started as an animator, right? So to him, it's probably like, yeah, that's what you do if you can't animate, right? Like that's probably the way he looks at it. You know what I mean? Like slumming it kind of thing. Yeah.
That makes sense. But yeah, that's
Gotham looks great in '89. Don't get me wrong, Devil Knight. But if you watch it now, you can tell like 90% of that is matte paintings. It's a lot like Dick Tracy. Dick Tracy did it better though, because by that point, I'm sure a lot of the same people worked on it and whatnot, to where like you can hardly tell in some of those shots. To where Batman, there's some scenes where it's just like they could have done a better job, but they rushed to that fucking movie. Like people don't remember how fast Batman was rushed to the theater. Like it was in development hell for like 10 years, and then finally when it got made, it was like boom, boom, boom. Like the fucker just went boom, like no time flat. It was made. Like Burton shot it, and like that was one of the fastest shoots I think they ever done to get it out by summer of '89.
Wow,
because he had just jumped off of Beetlejuice into that.
It's crazy.
Well,
yeah,
that was him in his height.
all I got.
I mean, he was like the hot kid there. And then Schumacher, though, he was the studio boy, right? Like Schumacher was he had done Lost Boys for him. You know, he'd done St. Elmo's Fire. He would work with the studio. And he apologized for Batman and Robin. I got to give him credit. He's like, I'm sorry I didn't make a good enough movie for the fans. I felt like I let them down. I did listen to the studio too much. And all the kernels are there in Batman Forever. I don't think a lot of people noticed it, because like people give Batman and Robin shit for so much stuff. It's like, you do realize all that shit's in Batman and Forever too, right? Like people give him shit about the bat nipples and the butt shots and all that stuff.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, to me, they're so similar.
Batman
anyway,
Forever
honestly.
opens up with fucking nipples and a butt shot. People forget.
Yes, there was. I noted that, and I was like, this is just like Batman. This is just like the other one. Of course those two seem like they're connected compared to the other two.
And talk about the soundtracks. Like it's a battle between which one's better, the first one with Prince or the Batman Forever. I mean, honestly, I would say the Prince soundtrack probably held up better in time, like over time, but because like who really listens to Kiss from a Rose anymore? Like I hear that song, I flip the channel. I'm like, oh my God, not again.
Tim Curry to play the Joker.
I've heard his audio. I thought he was a good choice, but I got to give Mark credit. He'd actually
Mark
nailed the
Hamill
tone
did better on that. Yeah.
Curry's not real good with American accent either.
No.
Yeah, I feel like Tim Curry would be better as a more subtle villain, maybe, but I don't know. Then again, he's done like Pennywise. So, I mean, I don't know.
Barry, that's debatable. I mean, like I said, they got so many different artists, but I mean, you got U2, which is probably one of their best songs, regardless. But I would have loved to have seen Tracy in 70mm. That'd have been amazing. But I mean, some of the other songs on that album they have not aged very well. Like I said, I hear Kiss from the Rose when we're goddamn time. There's a reason I don't play that on fucking Mead Radio very often unless somebody asks for it. You could not fucking throw a stone in 1995 without hearing, baby, I can take a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, every fucking where you went. Like, once in a while I'd be like, please play the U2 song at least. God damn, man. Kiss from a Rose again? Yeah, it's a good tune. Don't get me wrong. But you hear it so many fucking times and you're just like, I don't care if I ever hear that song again. Like, ever again. Like, sorry, I just, oh, God. And that's what pisses me off about that DVD there, Rook, too, about that set. I think it has Kiss from a Rose on there, but it does not have the U2 fucking video, which is a bitchin' ass video if you've ever seen it. God, it's all animated. It's fucking amazing. It's probably the best U2 video, best U2 song they've ever done, both in the same fucking shot. It's like, yeah, U2, whatever. I know most people hate him. I don't like him any more than anybody else, really. Like, look, Joshua, they peaked with the Octung Baby and the Joshua Tree is the album they'll always be known for. I get it, right? Like, this was an outtake from Octung Baby. Like, it wasn't even written for the movie or anything like that. It was just an outtake. It's like, oh, here you go. Here's a song by U2. Okay, great. Because you got to, like, I don't know, Rook, you got to remember, U2 was like, I don't know who liked them, but for some reason they seem to think everybody liked U2 for some reason. Greg's laughing because he knows exactly what I'm talking about. You've never met a single person in your life who liked U2.
No. And then they give you a free they give you a free album on iTunes for people.
That's where I think they solidified everybody hating them.
Everybody's like, how do I get rid of this?
That's where I think the moment everybody I think that was them collectively, even if you didn't have an iPhone, you're like, you know what? Fuck it. I hate U2 too.
Yeah, like, we're done.
Fuck them. We're done. This is it. We've the pop music. Fuck you, assholes. Like, Lemon. What the fuck is that? Like, you guys were the guys who sang like "With or Without You." Like, come on, what the fuck happened to you? Mysterious Ways. I don't give a shit. I'm not a big U2 fan, but that is a bitchin' fucking song, right? And Hold Me, Kill Me, Kiss Me, Thrill Me, whatever the fuck Kill Me, Kiss Me, Thrill Me, whatever the fuck it's called. That song is like the brother to that or the sister to that song. Yeah. And I'm just like, those are the two best songs they've ever fucking done besides With or Without You. And they've coasted on their like, I don't understand what the fuck, because they've never had that many big hits, right? Like, I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, they've had some songs that have charted and they've played and whatever, but I don't get it. Because that song, the one on Batman Forever, is probably one of their biggest hits, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because it almost got played almost as much as Seal.
Almost.
If it wasn't for TLC that summer, I mean, they were fucking everywhere too. They were
everywhere too. Yeah.
Like, I swear, every fucking 5 minutes on the fucking radio, it was "Kiss from a Rose" and "Waterfalls."
Don't
that
go
summer.
Chasing waterfalls.
Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that. Oh, discotheque. Fuck that fucking shit.
All right, Rookie.
Unforgettable Fire. That was the cutoff. Okay. Because I remember Rattle and Hum was huge too. It was like, oh my god, like, all right. I think I even got 2 copies of that fucking CD.
Rookie, any final words on the Batman?
I know I got 2 copies of fucking Joshua Tree. I know I got 2 copies of Batman Forever. I got one with a hype sticker on it, and it's worth a whole $1.99.
Oh, big money.
It's probably one of the most prolific soundtracks of the 90s. Besides Titanic is probably, but well, the next biggest one, I'm going to talk about in my next movie, so I'll save it for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll finish up on Forever, and maybe next time I'll watch the first Batman.
We'll watch them in order, maybe. See what happens.
I feel like if I do that, I'll probably definitely feel different about each one if I watch them all in order, because they'll feel either more connected or more separate. I don't know at that point. Well,
you know what's funny is that TLC album. I remember buying Batman Forever, TLC Crazy Sexy Cool, and Collective Soul all on the same day on cassette.
Nice.
And
And I had a CD player at that point, but I was on vacation and I had my Walkman. So I opted for the tapes on all those 3. But basically, it was like, okay, so I got the 3 tapes instead of just buying 2 of the CDs. See, so that was the other side of it too. Eventually, I did get Batman Forever on CD and the other ones too on CD. But at that point, that was my birthday money that year. And I can go back through almost every year of the 90s and tell you what I got for my birthday money because my grandma would give me a certain amount every year. And my first CD I ever bought was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 soundtrack with my grandma's birthday money. And it was always a tape or a CD. I remember buying History and Eagles when Hell Freezes Over in that around the same time period as well. So yeah, like all those kind of things I can remember just because of when they come out. And Eagles had already been out for a little bit when I bought that, but I just happened to buy it the same day that History had come out because it was there.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? An odd coincidence, the Eagles and Michael Jackson coming out with a double album at the same time.
Very weird. Very weird.
Well, it was only a double album on record for the Eagles, though. It was only a single CD. But it was mostly greatest hits. Isn't that funny?
It's Eagles, their greatest hits.
It wasn't, though. It was live versions, but it was all greatest hits except for 2 new songs that were studio songs. It's almost like they were trying to catch up real quick and be like, oh, Michael's doing that? Let's do this. That was when they first got back together for the first time in
years.
God, what was it, 15 years at that point, I think it was, or 20? Because that was the whole point of calling it Hell Freezes Over, because they said we'll get back together when Hell freezes over.
Yeah. And Don Henley and him.
Yeah, I believe that was the last time they were all living together, because the last time they got together here, I think 1 or 2 of the members was gone already.
Yeah.
And now I think we're down to what, 2 of them now? So
yeah, they're pretty much, their waste is going away. But all right.
The drummer and Don Henley, I think, is all we got left, I think, right?
Brian May.
That's Queen.
That's Queen. Now, why did I say that? No, I know this. Hold on. It's the one guy sings, and Vince Gill sings for him now. The one that did for Miami Vice. He did Miami Vice.
Glenn
Fry. Thank you. Why I thought Brian May, I don't know. Glenn Fry. Yeah, Glenn Fry's dead. I think Don Henley's still alive.
Don Henley, I think, is the only main lead one alive, and the drummer, I think, is still alive. Other than that, I think the rest of them are all dead now. Yeah.
Well, what's his name is still alive.
Joe Walsh, or is he still alive?
Joe Walsh is still alive.
Is he? Okay, I can remember.
Joe Walsh is still alive. And
for some reason, I think Joe Walsh died like 10, 15 years ago.
Everybody does, but he's still alive. And then like Vince Gill and what's his name? Glenn Frey's son fill in for Glenn Frey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but that's cool.
Yeah. But anyways, Rook, final words, and we'll move on to more movies.
Yep, I'm all good. All said. Right. Yep.
Okay. Who wants to go? I got 2. I got 2 left. How many you got left?
I got 2.
I have 1 left.
You got 1. Who wants? Should you go or I go?
I don't know what you got, because I got one that would go kind of perfectly off that in many ways.
Go ahead, because I don't have one that goes off of that.
Because this is complete coincidence that I watched this last week here, and Dolly passing away, and all this stuff happening. But we had been talking about Whitney and stuff so much that I finally watched The Bodyguard again.
Nice.
And of course,
I almost watched that this weekend.
The big song at the end, which is funny because watching the making of it, I had never known that, there was a whole nother song that was supposed to be there, but it was What Becomes of the Broken Hearted had come out, and so they changed gears at the last second to Dolly, and I think it was Kevin who came up with like a couple of songs, and I Will Always Love You was one of them, and it was just inspired because, right, like I said, out of all the soundtracks that people have from the 90s, it's The Bodyguard, Titanic, and Batman Forever, right? Like everybody has them, but no, it's a great film. It was actually written for Diana Ross and oh God, I just forgot his name, Steve McQueen. So this is a script that had been around for years and years and years. And now for some reason I just forgot the guy who wrote it. Jesus Christ. Lawrence Kasdan. Lawrence Kasdan actually wrote it as when he was in writing school or whatever, as a sample. But the script kept coming around because everybody liked it and stuff. And I don't remember if anybody else was ever attached to it, but I guess Costner got a hold of it, and ever since then he just wanted to make it. Ryan O'Neal might have been another one, I think, at one point they were talking to, and And as soon as Costner got it, they're like, well, who do we get for, the singer? And he instantly jumped to Whitney Houston, but everybody's like, well, maybe we could get Barbra Streisand, we get this person, that person, that person. But no, he's like, no, it's got to be Whitney Houston. And of course, at that point, she was the biggest female singer on the planet. I mean, and this just made her even bigger. But no, surprisingly, she can act, right? And not only that, her and Kevin have chemistry like you wouldn't believe. I'm pretty sure they fucked. And
Probably.
like, and he, like, the way he talks about her, like, they must have been pretty close in a way. Like, it's kind of, I wouldn't be surprised. And they do. It's weird because you wouldn't think these two would have any kind of chemistry whatsoever at all.
Mhm.
But there's just something about it. You could kind of feel the electricity the first time they're on screen together, that it just works. And there's just something about his good old boy nature that mixes with her, diva-esque nature, that it just works. There's something about it that works, but that's also kind of the whole undoing of the whole relation. It's one of those bittersweet movies. It feels like one of those stories it almost feels like a remake, right? Like, it feels like a movie that's been done a million times over, and this is just that version of it. But
almost like A Star Is Born or something.
yes, exactly. Like, it just feels like another one of those that we've done a million times over, that every once in a while you'll get, a new version of it, because it lends itself to that. But, and Sandra, that's the thing, is like, yeah, Whitney's version is much more powerful in a sense of the vocal range and how it's told and how she sings it. But Dolly's is much more personal. And you can definitely hear the difference in the Dolly versions between the original version, the version she sang for Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, and then the one she did with Vince Gill later on. There's a completely different shift in her emotional side of it all.
The song was actually written for Porter Wagner. She sang it to him as she was leaving the Porter Wagner show. So
yep. Yeah, so I mean, it works perfectly in the movie, of course, right? So in this sense, and it's brilliant how it's brought into the movie, because they have, I wish it was the Dolly version when they're dancing in the bar. It's just some rando country singer that's singing at the bar, but like, that's kind of how it all comes back around. But like, no, and the funny thing is like, the music, the guy who was doing the music on the movie, he's like, because it's weird, because you watch the movie and I forgot, that, oh yeah, it is a different version in the movie than what's on the soundtrack, because she is just slightly different vocals and a little bit different take and all that kind of stuff. Because in the version of the movie, she starts out a cappella, and they insisted on it. And the guy who did the soundtrack's like, yeah, but I'm not going to do the version on the soundtrack a cappella. They're like, yeah, whatever. That's the soundtrack. Well, then as he was mixing it, and after he saw the movie, he realized, yeah, you got to start it a cappella. And I think that's kind of what helps her version. It's different, because they almost do feel like completely different songs, but they are the same song, right? But they're so different in the way that they're being presented. And again, it's just one of those things that, one hand washes the other, or however you want to look at it, that, sure, Whitney will always be known for that song in a way, but it's still Dolly's song in the beginning. But, shit, they could have made this movie 20 years earlier with Dolly, or 10 years earlier with Dolly, and somebody else for that matter, right? So, I mean, she could have been in, it feels like, that almost feels like that's what it was, you know what I mean? Like you said, like Star Is Born, it felt like, okay, this was this 90s version of the movie that Dolly did in the 70s, and her song just got carried over, right? Like, that's what it felt like.
It almost feels like that. Yeah, it really does. And I know he wanted to do a sequel with Princess Diana. So,
yeah, there was kind of a weird thing there, because that's the whole thing with his character, right? Because his character, he can't get attached and all that kind of business.
Yeah, and he's got to move on and everything. Yeah, but no.
And I guess it's a favorite among bodyguards too, I guess. So.
Wonder why. I doubt Rook has seen it, so we won't go to him at all.
Yep, correct.
What is wrong with you, Rookie?
I mean, if you don't know by this point, I mean,
she is the queen of the night. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
The berries like and Gaze. Anyways, anything else you want to say before I guess we'll move on? But
I don't really like Kevin that much. I like Kevin Costner, but not that much.
I don't mind the movie. I like the movie, so yeah.
Just wait till my next one. That's got a doozy of a star in it.
Ooh boy! Wait till my last pick.
Yeah.
I'll save that for the last, because
so like, as far as special features, there's a few things carried over from the DVD from years before, the I Will Always Love You music video. So it's just your basic standard package.
Yeah.
So Sadly, all
surprised
the
that-
interviews with Whitney are from, I think, the making of the film or close to it. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I think
they've
she was
never
still
released
alive
this
when all
one.
this stuff was done too. The way they talk. So yeah,
I'm surprised they never released this on 4K yet either. So
you would think if it's probably not, it's probably in the hopper to eventually get it. I would imagine.
yeah,
Because I remember it
Probably.
being one of the first prolific DVDs. And I mean, this Blu-ray just got kind of quietly released years ago.
Yeah,
It's not the worst looking Blu-ray. I mean, it might even be from a 4K scan. Because like I said, at this point, this might have been the point where Warner started scanning something. Because they were one of the earlier ones to start scanning movies in 4K. So it looks really good for what it is. But I mean, yeah, you would think this is a prime candidate for a 4K release. Yeah.
yeah, you would think so. Especially after she died and everything, you'd think they would.
Yeah. You would have thought they'd have done some special edition or something. Yeah.
Something. All right. Well, I
But
guess
yeah, it's still the biggest selling soundtrack of all time, I believe. I don't know if Titanic beat it. I don't think it did, but
I was gonna say, what about Titanic? Did it?
I'm trying to remember, but maybe Titanic I'm trying to remember which one was more because I think I Will Always Love You still had the most weeks at number 1. But maybe Titanic sold more copies. I'd have to look. It might be something like that. Or the other way around. It might be vice versa. That's what I'm thinking. Because I think she was 7 weeks at number 1, if I'm not mistaken. But the album sold. Actually, that might be what it is. I think Celine had more weeks at number 1, but I think Bodyguard sold more copies. But see, Bodyguard also had more singles off it, right? Because you didn't just have I Will Always Love You, where Titanic just had My Heart Will Go On. Well, I mean, I'm sure according to Ricky Bobby, it is. Actually got to use a Ricky Bobby line today when I was at the dentist. I made those girls laugh. They were having a good time because like I was in that chair and it's got one of those chairs where the arm things are so far down and they're doing their thing and I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands. I feel like Ricky Bobby. Like, yeah, those armrests aren't exactly the most comfortable. I'm like, yeah, they make it impossible to get in the chair too. I remember the old ones where they just pop up, right? Like, you know,
yeah. Tom making them laugh.
Yeah, it is cropped off a little bit, or not cropped off. Of what I'm pretty sure it was always a 185 movie anyway, so it's not. Warner Brothers, when they do that, they usually just open up the mat, so it's just like whatever.
Yeah,
that'll actually come up in the next movie, believe it or not.
Oh, cool. Did they tell you to brush your teeth, Tom?
A couple times. They said I shouldn't floss until I get the cap, though, or whatever. I'm getting the crown. I got the fake crown in. Yeah, I thought they're coming in for a crown fitting. I thought, it's just gonna be one of those things where they stick the goo in my mouth and I'll be good, gone, done. I have to come back. Oh no, I was there for like an hour and a half. It was a nightmare. Got numbed up and everything. They didn't warn me about that. I was like, fuck.
No, that sucks. It's the dentist, man. All right, I guess we'll move on.
Saturday Night Fever was always pretty big too, Sander. Yes, but
Saturday Night Fever was big. I mean the what are them? The Gibbs. I can't think of their names. I'm losing my mind. Anyways,
Bee Gees.
The Bee Gees, yes.
No, Bodyguard still has 50 million copies. Dirty Dancing actually has 42 million copies. That's number 2. Saturday Night Fever is 40. Yeah, Titanic is coming in at 30 million. So Titanic's way down there. Then Grease.
Footloose?
Believe it or not, Footloose is not on here.
I can't believe I figured Footloose would be on there.
No, it must not have sold at least 20 million copies, which is funny because I have three copies of it on LP and I have at least 2 different CDs of it. And then Sound of Music, some other movie I've never even fucking heard of. It's a Bollywood movie. And then another Bollywood movie, and then another Bollywood movie. So yeah. So actually I was pretty much right. Yeah, I was gonna say I knew Bodyguard sold many more. Actually Dirty Dancing has sold a lot more than I thought. I bet you that's a lot of added ones in the last few years from re-releases as well.
Probably.
Because that thing has been re-released at least I got 2 different versions of myself. And I just saw there's another new anniversary edition out.
They keep churning it out. Yeah.
From Dollywood to Bollywood. That's right.
Dollywood to Bollywood.
Now, as far as streaming goes, it's a completely different animal. Furious 7 is number 1 on streaming. We'll see you again. Then Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga for Star is Born and Greatest Showman, which I thought Greatest Showman would have been number 1, or Let It Go, which is then the next one's
for us. Yeah.
Then Queen shows up in there too, of course.
No, nice.
But yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody is a fun one because that one's been on the charts 3 different times. Or maybe 4 now. Which is funny because I don't remember. I don't think it did it hit. I'm trying to remember. I don't think it hit number 1 the first time when they originally brought it out, but it did for Wayne's World, if I remember right. Which is weird.
Wayne's World.
I think that was one of the things they were talking about, how it didn't hit number 1 the first time when it came out, but it did for Wayne's World because I think it only hit like number 5 or number 2 on the charts initially. I'd have to look, but yeah, maybe I'm wrong, but because I'm not sure if Queen ever had a number 1 hit until then.
I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
Because it's funny because most people don't realize Aerosmith have only had one number 1 hit.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably won't guess what it is. Or you might, Greg, but most people wouldn't.
The number 1 hit that they never had until Armageddon?
That's the only number 1 hit they ever had.
I was going to say, because it was the
Believe it or not, AC/DC has never had a number 1 hit.
Yeah.
Although Back in Black is one of the biggest selling albums of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think the highest they've ever charted is like 10 or 15 or something like that. But like, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is you got to look at, we're talking pop charts too. Now, rock charts, AC/DC has probably had plenty of number 1 hits, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
Kiss, same thing. Like they've never topped the charts. I think their only big hit was Beth, ever on the pop charts, if I remember correctly. I think the only other thing that ever taps the top 40 would have been, I think it was the irony of it all. I think it was I Was Made for Loving You. I think was their only other charting hit. If I remember right. I can't remember if Rock and Roll All Night ever charted or not. If it was just a, yeah. Oh, I know, Sandra, you hate Bohemian Rhapsody. I know. Yeah, Beth did hit number 1. That I remember. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is funny because like, Peter Criss, right? Like he was responsible for their 2 most well-known songs up until later on. That's why I think it's funny when we were talking about that Kiss thing earlier and all the songs from the 70s, because Beth and I Was Made for Loving You, I'm pretty sure they're 2 biggest hits from that era. Besides Rock and Roll All Night. So, yeah. And then the other one you had was New York Groove. And then if anybody knows what that was the song that was on the Peter Criss album. And you'll know the song if you hear it. You're like, oh yeah, I know that song. I didn't know that was Kiss. Yeah, it's Kiss, but it was on the Peter Criss album, so it's usually just credited to Peter Criss.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll move on to.
Or was it Ace Frehley? Am I wrong? Sorry, it was Ace Frehley. Yes.
Frehley
Am I wrong, Barry? Yes, Ace Frehley. That's the one. Yes. Yeah, the ones that's the whole thing is their big hits are neither one of theirs besides Rock and Roll All Night. Yeah. Sorry.
How can you hate Armageddon? I can understand you hating the Aerosmith song, but how can you hate Armageddon?
Just
Armageddon's fun.
Breathing. Now that's a song I can understand when people are like, I don't need to hear that ever again.
Yeah, I can understand that, but the movie's great.
Yeah, it was Ace. You're right, Barry. Thank you for my brain fart there. Yes, you're correct. It was Ace. It was Ace. Yes. But yeah, Peter was the one who never really wanted to be there. He's just like he hated the makeup because he was allergic to it. I remember that. But Barry, I knew you would. No. Don't want to close my eyes. Don't want to fall asleep because I miss you, baby. And I don't want to miss a thing.
Good night, Brian Barth. Thank you for hanging with us. And if you're ready, I have to go ahead to my next movie.
Please.
I know this movie, Rook, and you have never seen because it's a new movie and I've seen it, but it's Carolina, Caroline, starring Samara Weaving and Kyle Gallner.
In your heart. Sorry.
Kind of works for this movie. That song kind of works for this movie.
I thought that was Pedro Pascal for a second there.
No,
it's Kyle
Gallner.
Yeah. Like Pedro Pascal movie. What the fuck?
No. He's a much better actor, in my opinion, than Pedro Pascal. No, this movie is basically like Wild at Heart or Bonnie and Clyde or True Romance. It's about this.
All right. I think did you talk about this before? Somebody else.
I made a video on this, but nobody watched it. Maybe
that's what I say. If somebody is talking about this, maybe it was you. So yeah, I'm aware of this film, but.
Yeah, I made a video. I knew nobody was gonna watch it because I knew everybody was gonna watch the CD video, but that's okay. That's why I put it, together like that. Good night, Devil Knight. Thank you for hanging us. I know we've gone longer than we usually do, but well, not yet, but you know what I mean. But anyways, what this movie is about this young woman here, played by Samara Weaving, who's in a small Texas town. She catches this guy here, who is a con man, scamming her boss at the gas station she works out, and they have this immense attraction to each other, and they end up going across the. It's very Americana, very outlaw stuff.
Bonnie
They
and
end up,
Clyde.
yeah, Bonnie and Clyde. Like I said, they end up going cross country in the South, pulling cons and everything, you know. And she wants to meet her mom, that she's never met her mom, and they end up getting into things far too deep, and some bad stuff happens, and you got to figure out how that goes. But no, I mean, if you've seen that movie, you've seen this. But I really enjoyed this because I felt like this is a movie we don't get a lot of anymore. Like that era has sort of passed, and this was a nice little throwback to that. It even takes place in the 90s, and these two give great performances in this movie. You really get sucked into their characters, and with the talk of everything, like rooting for flawed characters or bad like anti-heroes and stuff, it really does get to the point like these two are doing bad things, but they're not doing horrible things till it gets to a certain point, and you got to know is like you're rooting for them, you want them to do, but also you know that what they're doing is something bad is going to happen, and it does. So but this was a really good movie. Check out my video I did on it. I tried not to stretch out too long here, but I knew I was the only one that probably seen this one, and nobody else has. So this is a good movie. If you've not seen it, pick it up. Caroline. It's a pretty solid movie. That I don't believe there's any wokeness to this movie. It's great performances all around it. It's like I said, it stars these two. It's also got John Grease in it from the Val Kilmer movie. I'm losing my mind because I'm getting sleepy. Where they're smart, and he's Uncle Rico in that one movie. And Kira Sedgwick plays the mom, who's just an absolutely horrible person, But this movie is really solid. I really enjoyed this movie. If you guys like movies like this, like 90s, Bonnie and Clyde, true romance, Wild at Heart movies, I think this will fit right into that very well. There's even a shot that looks is very David Lynch going down the highway. So very good, very solid movie. So
Sweet.
kids, you never stretch out long. Truth bomb. But I didn't want to harp on that one too long. I made a video about it, and I knew you guys had seen it. So
It sounds like something maybe I'll check out eventually.
it's pretty fun. I think you might dig it. It's a throwback movie. It's a throwback.
There's another one kind of like that I haven't seen yet that I've been told to see too with anyway, forget it. But anyhow, yeah.
I know I'm losing my mind too.
Yeah, I'm just having a day.
Yeah. So who's going? You or Rook?
Sander, we already have a 4K of Congo.
Yeah, it does.
Congo.
Put down my Jaffa cakes.
Yeah, I even reviewed it on here.
Yes, you did. So who's going?
Down my sesame cake.
Yeah, sesame cake.
Swiss Family Robinson.
Yeah, I was in the mood for an old classic like this for some reason. The
How
family.
Does this motherfucker pull shit like that out of his ass?
I don't know.
Family gets Disney. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Vault Disney.
Yeah,
that's a new one.
I guess so. Yeah, but as we know, it's a family that is trying to go to New Guinea, but there's pirates chasing their boat, and they get lost in a storm, and they have to crash. They get on this island, and there's all these wacky animals on this island, and they got to try to live there, and it's very goofy family fun type of movie. But honestly, the making of this is honestly more insane. They have like a tiger in this. They got an elephant. They got an ostrich, hyenas, zebras, monkeys, all these crazy things on there that they got to deal with. And when they filmed it, they brought 500 animals to this little island that they actually filmed on this island place, and the weather there was like really shitty a lot of the time, of course, and made it really difficult just to get film equipment around, and they're trying to film with real animals that do not want to be there at all. on this. The scene where they're like trying to transport the.
So it's a typical Disney movie of the time.
Yeah, totally. But like the scene where like all the animals are in the water, they're floating around and stuff. They like that took 2 weeks to film just that like one scene, trying to get them to float and whatever, and all the right shots and everything. Like that's insane. The tiger, like they had a real tiger on set for it, and they had like trainers and stuff. The anaconda they wrestled, that was real. But they had like some tricks with them too, where like so like it weighs like 260 pounds or something, and it's like 20 feet long, the anaconda. And but like as long as you can dunk its head under the water when you're wrestling it, it'll ease its grip on you as you're wrestling it. And I think they somewhat sedated it, I think a little bit, but not too much to where it can't react a little bit, so it doesn't bite them or something. When they built the pits for the tiger, it was like too short. They're like, oh yeah, it can't leap out of here, and they start like trying to shoot a scene, and then it leaps right out. Oh,
they must have had some buns.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, the trainer's like, "Here, kitty," and they're like, so they're like, "Okay, we're gonna have deeper." We're gonna have a deeper.
That's where rookie's supposed to go. Buns, yeah, because the anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun. So.
Yep. I'm good old references there, but
I haven't seen this movie in years.
Yeah,
no, it's a good family one. It's a good, it's the type of one just where it's like, okay, these guys are trying to go to a new place. They are stuck on an island. The wife's whining about like, oh no, there's a lizard, and oh no, there's a bug over here or something. And the dad and the sons are like trying to build like more than a reason, like
stuff.
Like super engineering essentially of like, oh look, we got running water here now, and we built a whole house in a tree and all this stuff. And she's like, oh, but I don't know if it will fall off or not. And he's like, okay, let me try to make this here for us, and digging into the land and stuff. And I don't know, just one of those like kind of cool ones. Think of Castaway, but they're not miserable about it. They want to be there,
but they're not miserable about it.
like it's a happy family and all that. And then they find a girl that was there's pirates that were chasing them and stuff. So there's this like girl and a merchant that were captured, but the two of the boys save her, but they think it's a boy at first. So there's some comedy there. Like, oh man, this is the closest we got to a girl. This little gay wad over here, basically. It's what they're sounding like. And then they're like, wait a second, it's a girl. It's kind of funny reveal. And the young kid in it, he's like a Pokemon trainer, man. He wants to catch every single animal on this island. He's like, oh, let me catch that turtle, let me catch that elephant, I'm gonna catch a tiger, I'm gonna catch a pirate. Like, he just wants to catch everything physically possible. The reason, or like they at one point they're like, oh, there's a tiger here, they're looking in like the captain's books or something, and they're like, oh, there must have been a land bridge all these years ago, that's why there's all these weird animals here. And it's like, I googled it, I was like would that be a way for this to make sense? And Google's like, no, there's an Asian elephant, a Siberian tiger, there's like African zebras, hyenas, there's ostrich, all things from all over the world. Like this is a very fantasy island of hodgepodge of animals. So yeah, it's just a kooky little thing. But I don't know, it's a fun watch if you guys haven't watched it
in years. But yeah,
and it's a good like kind of raw one where it's like, yeah, they're like, yeah, you get one of the sons is talking to the girl about it. She's like a British chick. And he's like, yeah, maybe I want to stay somewhere like here where I can build my own place, carve my own future or something. And she's like, why? she wants to go back to England or something where it's all fancy and stuff. And he's like, no, I want to like stay here and make my future here. And so I feel like that's something a lot of us like to feel, or something where you can carve out your own stuff, your own land, your own provisions. Mm-hmm. One of our stuff we all kind of feel as men in a way. So
gotta
nice.
Take control of yourself.
You control yourself, and like in a way, you like want to put a dent in the universe. Like, I'm gonna make my house. I'm going to catch my food. I'm going to, make my part here and protect my family and whatever. So it's a nice little theme there that they got. Yeah. But
when Disney was actually cared about the family.
Yeah, well, that's actually what's funny about it. Yeah, they cared about that, but like it's funny the way that they described filming it. Like they're like, yeah, we took all these people that were the weather is horrible, that we have angry people, and then we have all these animals that don't want to be here even more than we do. So they had to try to shoot all the animal scenes first. For the two dogs they had 8 dogs to play the 2 dogs. Where like two of the pairs are more trained for swimming, 2 of the pairs are more trained for like I don't know, like hunting or something where they can go more in the jungle area and not get lost. And other ones are like, 2 companions that are one copies the other a whole bunch. So it's easier to get some double shots and stuff. They had like 100 flamingos or something. They had like a shit ton of animals on this set. That would have been like they all used real animals in this. It's like pretty insane.
That's what they did back in the day.
Like
they didn't
and
CGI them.
They did not CGI him. And there's a moment where the dogs fight the tiger. And when I was a kid, I used to think, oh yeah, dogs would destroy a tiger for some reason, because a cat, it's a kid brain. And then it's like an adult. I'm like, dude, how did those dogs not get murked by the tiger? Like, what are you talking about? But like, I think the way that they described it is they did the tiger's like, sort of trained. So, I mean, it's somewhat gonna be okay. And then I think they like tied its mouth a little bit for the shot that they need, and it was a little more chill. I think they sort of chilled it out a little because they just needed the dogs to make contact with the tiger for a couple seconds of a shot, and the rest are all you can tell. Like there's nobody else in this shot. They're just doing the tiger going rawr and the dogs barking at it. So it's a funny little stuff like that. But in my head when I'm watching it, I'm like, so you have a baby elephant. Where's the parent elephants, man? They're like, do you know anything about elephants? They'll track this one elephant killed a lady, tracked down the grave, and stomped on its grave. Like, they'll find their baby in danger. But I don't know. There's like funny little things like that with the animals and with some of the filmmaking stuff that's interesting. But that's all I got to say on that. Just a good old one. They have a nice little action scene by the end as they, throw coconut bombs and Star Wars Ewoks against the Empire type of tactics with logs and rocks and whatever. So yeah. And they have the pirates say like, you here. Their accent is like Americans thinking how Spanish people act. Like, do you understand me? That's like how the aliens, or not the aliens.
There's aliens in the Swiss Family Robinson.
Yeah, they fight all these things, including the aliens, man. Anyway, that's all I gotta say on that one, man. So it's good. I recommend it. It's one of those ones that makes you think, a Disney movie. Yeah, Disney movie. Duh. Like one of those back when they had some bangers.
Aliens. That's an inspired idea. I think I'm gonna do Swiss Family Robinson in space.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what
Lost in Space.
That's what Ripley was aiming for. She wanted a family. So
bitch, I think we got a $1 million ideal there.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's Disney used to actually make quality family films back in the day. They used to make good ones.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Tom, are you ready for your last pick or?
Yeah, I can do my last pick if you want. I'm keeping in the vein of music.
Okay.
I decided I was going to watch a movie I had not watched in a while. This came out before the newer surge of biopics. Kind of came out in the era of Walk the Line and Ray, but it's not usually brought up, especially because of the star. And it also doesn't help that the singer is not as prolific as others, but overall, it's an interesting film, and it's called Beyond the Sea with Kevin Spacey and Kate Bosworth, and it's also got John Goodman in it and Bob Hoskins, and it's about Bobby Darin. So
yeah,
I actually it's an all right movie. It's not great, but I do like Bobby's music. But of course, Kevin being in it is a bit controversial. What's funny is all these years I never noticed this until I was looking at it this time. There's a sticker on here over the special features. And I peeled it back to see what was on there. There was a bunch of stuff that was supposed to be on here that didn't make the disc.
No, so they just like kind of covered it up.
They covered it up. Yeah. So there was like a bunch of Bobby Darin stuff that was supposed to be on here, like old Bobby Darin appearances and stuff like that. Didn't make the cut.
Didn't make it.
The only thing that made the cut that had anything to do with the movie, and that was it. So otherwise, anything else that was extra was like gone. But yeah, so yeah, overall the movie's okay for the most part. I'm curious on the soundtrack. Is it all Kevin Spacey singing it? Because, like, as far as I could tell in the movie, there's none of the actual music in there. It's all Kevin Spacey thing, which he's not bad at it. And he does look like Bobby Darin.
Yeah.
But the problem you have here is he's playing Bobby Darin from like high school through. It's all good.
And he looks like an old man.
Yeah. Speaking of Bobby, hang on here. I think I got it.
Yes, according to Barry the Music Man, yes, it is Kevin Spacey. Is it
I don't
Kevin
have it nearby
Spacey?
here, but sorry, go ahead.
He said yes to your question about the soundtrack.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Because I don't think I have that soundtrack, but yeah, I'll just show a picture here of Bobby Darin real quick, and you can see why they picked Kevin Spacey to play him. I mean, he looks, and I mean, I guess Kevin Spacey was a big fan too, which helps.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can see why, because I mean, he looks a lot like him.
Oh yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, they're very, very, you know,
especially when he was in high school.
Yeah. Well, and Bobby actually had a lot of health issues when he was a kid, and I mean, he always did kind of look a little older than he really was. So that part doesn't really. Oh, are you? That's cool to know, Barry. Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan, but I'm not like a huge fan. Like, I know most of his main hits, and I know what I know in this movie about him, but I don't know enough about him to tell you what the movie's gotten wrong, other than I know they leave his second wife completely out of it. Like, they concentrate completely on Sandra Dee and only Sandra Dee. Played by Kate Bosworth, of course. He's great in it too. But yeah, overall, it's a pretty well done-ish movie. It kind of has. What's weird is it kind of does what Rocket Man does before Rocket Man. Now, if you've seen Rocket Man, what it is like, because Rocket Man's kind of told in a jukebox musical kind of style through like a young version and an older version of Elton John, kind of like interacting almost to a point. Like, you literally have young Bobby Darin, the actor, interacting with the actor Bobby Darin playing himself, Kevin Spacey playing. It's like a weird kind of in-universe thing. And it works, though, eventually as the movie gets going, because like it comes back and forth to it, but it doesn't like dwell on it in a weird way or anything like that. It just kind of uses it as like this jumping off point. And they even make the joke about Kevin Spacey being technically too old to play the role as a young man. But I mean, he's playing Bobby Darin as Bobby Darin playing himself, right? So it's like a weird kind of in-universe thing. And again, I don't think he ever made a movie like that, but that's kind of like the whole gist of it. It's like this idea that Bobby's making a movie about himself.
Right.
And it kind of starts off like, where do I start? Do I start when I was a kid? Do I start here? Do I start there? And yeah, I mean, he does a good job with the music too. I mean, he sounds a lot like Bobby as far as the singing wise and everything. I mean, he's a classically trained actor, so why wouldn't he? I mean, he can do that kind of stuff. But Kevin Spacey overall is a very controversial figure. I get that. Yeah. But again, at the same time, like I showed you that picture, who else are you going to fucking get to play him?
Yeah, it looked a lot like him.
Yeah, I mean, like, really, who else are you going to get? I mean, he looks so much like him.
Yeah.
And he has the same kind of voice and everything for it. The weird thing is it's never been released on Blu-ray. And it's the streaming version. It is available free on Amazon Prime right now. The streaming version is an open matte version of it. Because the movie's originally in 2.35, but because I popped it on because I'm like, oh, this Blu-ray, it looks all right, but it's really kind of, it's an older ass Blu-ray. I mean, or DVD, sorry. So it's an old DVD. It suffers from, looking like an old DVD.
Like an old DVD.
Well, let's see if it's on streaming. Like, well, I don't want to buy it on streaming, but it happened to be free on Amazon. I'm like, oh, all right, I'll watch it in HD. And it actually looks like a newer scan. Like, so I'm like, okay, they're sitting on a better looking scan than the DVD, but it's actually open matte too. Because it's in its full 16:9 screen. So yeah, that's kind of the thing with Bob. I mean, that's kind of most people know that story, but it's kind of a lot like Jack Nicholson. We brought him up earlier. This whole idea of the person you were raised by thinking was your mother is actually your grandmother, and your sister is actually your mother.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of a fucked up, twisted, life you live. But like, that's the other thing is Bobby was always kind of like on the verge of, death anyway, right? So like, yeah, I mean, he was just kind of one of those guys. And it was weird because he could have jumped on the Elvis train, right? Because his first hit was Splish Splash, which was a rock song, right? At the time. But instead of going that route, he's like, I want to go a more traditional route and he was competing with guys like Sinatra and all those guys, right? So like he switched gears instead of going down, because I think he saw it, and it doesn't really cover this per se in the movie, but I think what he saw was like, yeah, I could be this pop star like Buddy Holly and Elvis, but how long is this shit gonna last?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where he was coming from, was I'm going to do something that's going to leave its mark a little bit more. And maybe at the time people are like scratching their head going, what the fuck are you thinking? But I mean, everybody knows his music, right? I mean, even Rookie, who has no idea who the fuck I'm talking about right now, he knows somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me. And he knows Mac the Knife, and he knows Splish Splash, I was taking a bath. All about us. And you know his music because it's been a part of our lives for so fucking long.
Yep.
That he has that handful of hits that permeated the culture, especially Mac the Knife, right? I mean, everybody knows that song, but yeah.
If I was a carpenter, I know that song.
Yeah, I mean, he did such an eclectic. Well, that's the thing, is then when the hippie era came around, he completely changed. Then he went more folk music, which was completely against the grain. Like he went a complete 180 from where he was. So, and I mean, if anything, this movie kind of, I think, pays more homage to that, because I think at the time it probably wasn't as well received. But yeah, well, yeah, commercials, his music was very prolific in.
Yeah.
He went more the Ray Charles route. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And this movie is kind of in that, like I said, it comes out in that same era as Ray. So if you liked Ray, if you liked Walk the Line, this is kind of one of those movies that's right in that.
I'll be 100% honest with you. I've not seen that movie before, but I've seen like the title and the poster and everything. I did not know that was a movie about Bobby Darin. Honest to God, I did not know till you said it just till tonight.
When it came out, like I said, like he did okay with the Golden Globes. I don't think he got nominated or anything for the Oscars. I mean, it did get pretty good. Like even got 2 thumbs up from Ebert and Roper and stuff like that. It says here in the front and all that stuff. I remember it was pretty well received. But it was just, I don't think it was marketed well. Because like I didn't even realize until it came out on video that it was a Bobby Darin movie, I don't think.
Yeah, I just like till you said it, because I've seen the poster.
Oh man, I love it, Barry. You can send me a copy. Like, I mean, you can just send me a digital rip of it too. You don't necessarily have to send it to me.
Yeah. But then no, like I've seen that poster before. I've seen it in the video store before, but I never knew it was a biopic about Bobby Darin. Yeah. So you said so tonight.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I can recommend it, but like again, like I warn you, it does have Kevin Spacey in it. So.
Yeah, like Captain Krypton, Lex Luthor marries Lois Lane and sings some songs and you don't know about it. Lunacy, I say.
Right?
Yeah, I knew about the movie, but I just know it's about Bobby Darin. Wrong.
Still one of the best. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Still one of the best fucking Lex Luthors we ever had. He nailed that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I like his version.
Yeah. Not bad.
Look, Kevin Spacey's good at playing these characters you love to hate. He's good at that. I'm sorry. I don't know. He may, honestly, I don't even know if I believe half the shit that's said about him at this point. Because some of the guys that are making the accusations, I'm just like, they're sus themselves. So. But again, I'm not trying to stick up for him. I'm not saying he's a decent human being at all. Yeah, because Kevin Spacey isn't acting, right? No shit. That's the thing is, yeah.
All right.
He does what he does well.
He does it very well. LA Confidence. I haven't seen that in a while. Go on. Continue about the movie if you got.
No, there's not much else I can say. Like, I mean, unfortunately, the only special features you get are a commentary, a making of featurette, which is your standard EPK, and that's it. Otherwise, what was meant to be on here never made its way onto the disc. And I highly doubt Lionsgate is going to give it any kind of Lionsgate limited treatment anytime soon. So.
Yeah, not unless it actually. He gets acquitted, or well, he was, but he was.
But I mean, yeah, like unless something comes about that he all of a sudden is famous again for some reason, then
unless he gets another like some kind of big hit comeback somehow.
And Bobby Darin's so far long gone that, and it's not like his music's popping up on streaming charts or anything. So
no.
Oh, there's a Blu-ray, or did you import it, Barry? Because I could not find a Blu-ray of it. Is it an import? I wouldn't be surprised.
It's got to be.
Because I would have thought it came out right at the cusp of, and I couldn't find a Blu-ray for it. Because this came out in 2004, so like 2 years. Yeah, I was gonna say 2 years just before Blu-ray started. So okay, all right, I'll have to keep an eye out for that, Barry. Thank you.
There you go.
I mean, I like it, but I don't like it enough to where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go spend $50 on a fucking import Blu-ray tomorrow.
I don't like it that much. I don't like it not that much.
I like Bobby's music. I just There's a Kevin Spacey collection. I doubt it. I don't think he'll get one anytime soon. I think we're lucky that the few movies that he does get released at this point, because he's one of those people that's kind of like persona non grata in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't blame you.
All right, what do you got for us, Rook, on your final one? Or
I'll keep
Greg
it in the I'll keep it in the music business. You can laugh at me all you want. I don't care. I like these guys. I don't care 100%. You can laugh at me. I watched Love or Hate to Love Nickelback, a documentary about this band. Because look at this photograph. And it's got a nice little booklet. It's like a, booklet thing. And the documentary there. So, yeah. So I watched this.
This was not planned, guys. This whole episode was not.
It was not
planned.
It was not.
I even got to give Rook credit for even barely doing the homework that he did not know he had, because he at least brought in one movie that had a soundtrack, or a couple of soundtracks, each one.
Yeah, with the Batmans. Yeah. No, I know people don't like these, and this covers that. This covers the whole hate to love Nickelback. Why? They're these guys are manly dudes. If you watch this thing, they're manly dudes. There's nothing. They have a song where they're singing about getting a blowjob. I mean, that's literally one of their songs. It's called "Something in Your Mouth." So I don't get the hate for this group. I really don't. I understand if you don't like their music, because it is like earworm music, and they cover that in this movie, where in this documentary about how their music isn't considered what it is. But these are just four dudes. They're actually from a small town in Canada, which you would think is a small town in the south of America, to be honest with you, because they go to where they were from, and it looks like small town, like Southern Ohio, Kentucky. That's what it looks like, right?
I had no idea there was a huge hate for this band.
No, there's a massive hate. They were one of the first bands to be sort of cancel cultured a little bit, but not because of them doing anything wrong, just because people like making fun of them. That's really all there's to it. Speaking of which, this album here, which I have, Nickelback, I can't even remember names. All the Right Reasons. This is their most successful album. It's number 9 on the top 200 21st albums of all time. The top 200 albums from the 21st century of all times. This is certified diamond. This CD is. So yeah, don't be smudged. If you see where they're from, it looks like a small town in Kentucky or Ohio, or even further south. It really is. But no, this follows their life and how they all came to be. Actually, Chad Kroeger here, the lead singer. This is his brother who plays bass. And then this is their childhood friend. And then this is their drummer is actually the drummer from Three Doors Down. He came into their group about 20 years ago. About 22 years ago now. Yes, they are Canadian, but you wouldn't know it. You honestly wouldn't know it. So what it is, it covers their rise. Is like this, they were in this small town. They wanted to make music. They actually wanted to be a little heavier than they are now. They wanted to be a little more metal. But Chad, the guy, the lead singer, Chad Kroeger, he's just like so good at just writing down these earworm type songs, which is why I don't think, because they're kind of like poppy earworm type songs, not so much like heavy metal, even though they're on the rock charts and everything like that. But I don't blame you, Barry. Right. So, they wanted to be a little more than, so they paid their dues. They went and they traveled, and they, after they graduated high school and everything, and they got signed up with Roadrunner Records in America, which a lot of people were pissed off about that because Roadrunner Records in America were known for bands like Slipknot and oh my gosh, I can't remember the names. Like they were much more heavier bands. And like even like the executives was like, I don't give a shit what you guys think about Nickelback. They saved Roadrunner Records and allowed us to make bands like Slipknot and all them Type O Negative to keep them going. They kept the lights on because they sold so much money. They said like we even had to beg Nickelback to sign with us because they knew they weren't a fit at first, and so they signed with them, and then they took off. They just like boom, 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 boom. They rose, and then there was a point in time in like the middle 2000s where they started to become a joke, and people started making fun of them and their music, and a lot of it is because they're not seen as cool. They're not seen as like artists. They're not trying to make a statement with their music. They're not trying to be political or this or that, or they're not considered like a tortured soul like the Doors or something like that, or even like how Tom brought up like Bobby Darin or something. They're not considered those type of people, and so they were kind of mocked and made fun of by the critics and stuff like that considered, who knew what they thought cool was. And I know a lot of people don't like them, and I know you guys buried them. I know you guys can make fun of me and all that, but one of the reasons I like them, besides that their tunes are catchy, is because I'm in that group. Like I don't ever think I was ever considered cool, and I know a lot of people don't like my takes on things, and like so I kind of connect with the whole like Nickelback thing, how people don't really like them or whatever, and they don't want to admit it or whatever. So I admit it. I don't care. Make fun of me, laugh at me, whatever. I don't care. I like Nickelback, and I got most of their albums, and they even got a brand new album coming out in October with a new song they've already dropped, and I plan on buying that. But like I said, this right here is one of the best-selling albums of the 21st century. It is massive. This was a massive thing. It had like 7 hit singles come off of it. But no, this was a really good documentary. It really covered their journey and how they dealt with that, and how, they talk about how yeah, I know. They were never cool. I know people don't like them. I know that. Don't get me wrong. I know people, that they're a fun time. I think they're a fun time though. I like their American Zone. I think they're just fun. I was watching the song Rockstar, which is, speaking of like we've been talking about music tonight, their song Rockstar, which is their like 5th single off of this album. I watched that music video the other day, and I was watching that music video for it, and I was thinking to myself, half of the people in that music video would never be in another music video ever again, because some of them are dead and some of them are considered politically are correct, or whatever you want to call it in today's day and age. So like their music video for Rockstar is just a bunch of people and celebrities and stuff singing their song Rockstar, lip singing to it. And I think
that's part of the problem, because that album is where, look, I actually don't hate them. I like them just fine. I
like them.
I didn't realize there was much of a hate for them until a little later too. It was probably around Spider-Man when I finally realized people didn't like them.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is with anything like that, where it's and this is the weird thing, I almost kind of compare them to like Journey. Like it's almost weird because people now like love Journey, but I swear there was a time when Journey was not cool, right? Like they were basically considered corporate rock, right? Or even Foreigner is another good example of it, right? Like to where they're considered this manufactured, saccharine, trying to imitate the popular thing at the time, right? And I'm not saying that's not what they are. They kind of are, but.
And which is funny because that they talk about it, and none of that about them is, from what they said, like they weren't trying to be corporate rock. The songs that Chad Kroeger writes, all their songs, they're not, they're not giving corporate notes or anything like that.
To us, it sounds corporate in America just because they're Canadian.
Yes.
Right? Like that's the problem. And honestly, I think it's just because of their success. That album got so saturated.
It was
that
huge.
Between the songs Photograph and Rockstar, I think were the reason people started to dislike
They became overplayed, much like you were talking about earlier with
Aerosmith and
Seal and
yeah.
Aerosmith. They kind of got
Yeah.
overplayed in the early 2000s, but
And
they
once you
were
get
still
to a point,
huge.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, you're not wrong. Like, I mean, in that one you mentioned, the Blowjob song is probably one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, Something in Your Mouth is a great song.
I mean, they're not, but they have this corporatized, and they kind of, whether they meant to be or not, they kind of became that because you just told the story of why they are that, right? They are a part of this company where they are literally the bread and butter. So what do they have to do? They have to keep churning out. And look, I hate to mention it, but Barry in the chat knows this in a way, in a roundabout way. Kiss is kind of the same thing. They are a manufactured thing. Like, they're not. I mean, if Gene and Peter and Stan and all those guys and Ace were making music for themselves, it'd be a completely different thing. And Ace Frehley's music is kind of an example of that, right? Like, he went off and did a completely different thing compared to what Kiss was doing. And Kiss is a very safe, corporatized, manufactured, like, this is what we are, this is what we're selling you, right? Like, AC/DC is a great example of that, right? Like, they don't change the formula. There's a reason for that. You go to an AC/DC concert, it's just like going to a McDonald's restaurant. You're going to get the same thing every fucking time, and that's why you're there. You know what you're going to get. There's not going to be any big surprises one way or the other, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I make fun of it too. I poke fun at it here and there, but honestly, I love music so much that I have a respect for just about any musician who can actually do it. Yes, there are some that I will call out and say they are shit musicians and they're only famous because either they're good looking or there's something else going on at the moment in time. But like, yeah, no, like Nickelback, look, I compare him to like Journey. Maybe in like 10, 15, 20 years from now, people will come around to him and realize that they were sleeping on, the whole idea.
I think that's starting to they actually talk
maybe
about
it is.
That's starting to happen now with them. And like I was mentioning about the Rockstar video, I mean, like in that Rockstar video, they have Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, who actually sings on the song. They have Gene from Kiss. I can't think of his name because I'm starting to lose it. What's his name? Gene Simmons from Kiss. Kid Rock is in the movie. John Rich is in it. Nelly Furtado is in it. They have the Playboy Bunnies are in it. Like, some of these people you wouldn't be allowed to be in mainstream videos anymore, right? And some of them are different. But no, you're not wrong. I was going to try to play the trailer, but I don't remember if the music is actually in the if any of their songs are in it. Just so you guys can see a little bit what I'm talking about here. Because you're hitting the nail on the head, Tom. A lot of what you're talking about is what they talk about in the documentary. Let's see if I can play the trailer. If it starts playing the music, I'll have to turn it off. So, because I don't want to get claimed by Nickelback. But no, let's see if we can do this.
Did you want to come and see all the good folks that showed up tonight? Line them up!
Yeah, it's going to get claimed.
I knew that I always wanted it to be a part of my life. I had no idea it was going to be this integral. It always felt right standing on stage and performing for people.
Hannah was the quintessential sleepy little farm town.
Because there's not much going on, it's really easy to get in trouble.
I was a bad kid.
He was either on his way to it or from it.
I think the cops really wanted to get me out of this town. That I can tell you.
I'm glad he got into music.
Brian played the guitar. That's where the common ground was.
4 guys in a van that shouldn't have made it 2 miles, and they were living the dream.
In the 2000s, there wasn't a band on the planet that got more radio airplay than Nickelback.
Yeah, I'm going to have to cut that out.
Remind Me has been considered one of America's most played songs ever.
All of that exposure triggered a reaction.
Why does everybody hate Nickelback?
Nickel bad, Nickel hack, Nickel bomb, Nickel creed.
Nobody picks up a guitar to be in the most hated band in the world.
They were part of cancel culture before we had a name for it.
It's kind of just like a long-running meme.
They became the most hated band in music.
We try and laugh it off. You can laugh off about 90% of it, and some of it hurts.
The complaints about Nickelback aren't unusual. Their songs are formulaic.
But I think sometimes people want to hear vacuous, dumb shit. He's an amazing frontman, he's a badass.
I've always felt a sense of loneliness about Chad.
I don't have an identity without this band.
This is going to be tough to talk about.
I'm not in Nickelback anymore. Okay, I quit.
They mean so much to each other. They've grown up together. The chemistry is real. It's palpable.
To those of you who see this band as some big corporate sellout, fuck you.
Everybody's got an opinion about them.
Nickelback, fan or liar? I play Nickelback songs to Nickelback fans. So I don't have to go and try and win over someone who doesn't like my band. That sounds like some very strange form of torture. Probably for both of us.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably clip that out because I didn't realize how much of the music was in the trailer there. But no, that's like what they cover is like they talk about how people think they're corporate stuff, and to them, they've never viewed themselves as corporate because they're not. They're just writing the songs and playing the music they want to play, and it's just like they said, it's vacuous shit. Sometimes you just want a piece of candy, and that's what you get. That's what you get with Nickelback here. So, I mean, what can you say? But hey, whatever. What's up, Random Brad? Glad to see you out there. 4 gays in a band. No, but anyways, I know a lot. I know some people don't like them. I know they're not considered hip and cool, but I do enjoy Nickelback. And once again, though, I also enjoy like the stuff you guys like, too. I like Kiss and I like all that stuff too. And I like, my mind is going on me, so I can't think of shit tonight. So, but you know what I mean? You guys know what
After bedtime.
Yeah, it's 1:00. So I can pull up there.
That's why I take a nap before the show, Greg.
That's why I don't nap. Once I'm up, I'm up. I'm up all day long, and then when I lay down, that's it.
I shouldn't, but I do, unfortunately.
Yeah. I like them. I thought this was a very fascinating documentary, and it painted a portrait of these guys that most people don't see because they're either being made fun of or they see the music, And the one thing I do think they skirt around, which I would have liked to know a little more about, is that Chad Kroeger, the lead singer, did marry Avril Lavigne. They were married for about 2 years. And they kind of just skirt over that. He's like, all they say is like, yeah, when another celebrity marries another celebrity, it makes things worse. That's about all they say on it. So I would like to have known a little bit more about, what went on there with that. And then there was a point in time where he actually lost his voice, which I know that might make Barry happy, where Chad Kroeger couldn't even sing or talk for a whole month. He had to stay completely silent because his voice gave out on him. And then once COVID hit, and what it is once they were kind of done making music for a while, and once COVID hit, and they had all that time alone, they decided to start making music again. So they're making music again now, and they have a brand new album. So, but there you guys, that's all I have for you guys. Got it.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, I think Avril Lavigne was kind of passed around. What can I say? Yeah. But yeah, it's great. I thought it was a great documentary. I was fascinated. The one thing I wish that they would do and more of these music groups would do is I would like a DVD or a Blu-ray, I should say, of their music videos. I know I can go on YouTube and type them in and click on their artist page of any like people out there, and you can watch all their music videos. I know I could do that, but I would like a Blu-ray of their, like, that's like what it's missing. Like, there's no music videos whatsoever on here. And I thought, well, that would be a great special feature to put on your documentary. So I miss when they did that. So anyways, yeah, I think you'd like it, Random Brad. I think you'd like it. Why'd you have to go make things so complicated? I like that. Anyways, guys, I think that's where we're going to end it because it is getting late. We've gone over 3 hours. I wanted to say that to the end because I knew there would be a lot of, once again, I knew there'd be a lot of hate and jokes that way thrown at them, but they're used to it. I'm used to it, and being a fan as well. So, what can you say? And any final words from anybody out there, and just speak them up as I get ready to close it out.
Nope, good to go.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Tom. I appreciate you, Rook. Thank you, everybody out in the chat and everybody at home for sticking around and watching and putting up with us and listening to my bad takes. As always, I appreciate you guys. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you on a new one. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
How you doing? Bitches leave.